Hey there, folks. I'm Charlotte, the Gulf Coast Granny, and Grumpus will be here soon. Um, how's everybody doing tonight? I am very excited to be here. We took a weekend off last weekend, and I think both of us just kind of needed to rest. And so now we're back and we're ready to hang out and chat with our buddies and catch up with everybody and see how you're all doing. I'm making another blanket for one of my grandbabies, my newest grandbaby, that's going to be here in December. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be giving it to the baby or not because does that look pink to y'all or does it look peach? And I know I've got a red shirt on or burgundy, but hey, Terry, how are you doing tonight? Anyhow, I don't know if this is going to be a girl baby or a boy baby, and it's aggravating me to death. But we'll know in a month when it gets here. So my son called me yesterday, and I was kind of surprised. It's the daddy of the baby, and I said, "Hey son, how are you doing?" It was the middle of the day, and that's not like him on a Friday. And he goes, "I'm all right." I said, "Well, what you doing?" He says, "Well, me and girlfriend just spent the day at the emergency rooms. She got rear-ended in his car, so they spent the day there making sure that she was all right, and thankfully she is fine. But she's 8 months pregnant and got rear-ended, so they wanted to be sure. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them a bit. I'm glad you're doing well, Terry. Um, so that was a little bit of a scare for them. Plus, now he's got to either repair the car or total the car or whatever they're going to do with it, and he doesn't quite know that yet. But that's just, it seems like he just can't win lately. There's been some things going on in his life that are a little chaotic, not to mention the fact that he's about to have a baby and now his car's been crashed. And I really hope that things can straighten out for him soon and things will just start going the right way. I'm drinking Tim Hortons coffee with sugar and a little creamer. And yeah, I'm no more Fireball for me. I'm about to be a granny for the fifth time. I don't need to be drinking like a neat ding-a-ling. Um, once in a while, I don't mind having a glass of wine, but tonight I'm on a coffee kick. I need to stay awake. My son's on some new medication to help him sleep, and I want to just be up and make sure he's all right through the night. So I'll probably be up for quite some time. Um, let's see what else went on this week. Oh. This is really exciting. You know, my son's in the band. My daughter was in the band. Anybody who's been here on my channel for any length of time knows that we are band parents. Well, marching season ended last weekend. Well, last Friday. And they had band tryouts all weekend last weekend. And that's why my son wasn't able to go to the baby shower with us last Sunday because he was at band tryouts. Well, they're doing indoor percussion again this year. And I don't know if you remember, but for 2 years in a row, he got stuck on the rack. And he was not happy about it the second year. He was extremely disappointed. Well, they didn't do indoor season for 2 years after that. They haven't done it since Violet was a junior in high school. And the years that Murphy did it with her, he was in the 7th and 8th grade. So in 9th and 10th grade now, well, yeah, something like that. I'm getting confused with my years and my numbers. But anyhow, the point of the matter is he is not on the rack this year. He'll be playing the bass drum in the indoor percussion. And that is just really exciting news for us and for him. He was extremely proud of himself, and I'm super proud of him too. Um, He's moving up in the world. He's getting better at his craft, and now here he is going to have a really nice part in the indoor percussion season this year. Um, so yeah, that's really, this is my favorite time of year for band, even though it is a completely voluntary event that they do. It is not part of their grade. It's an extracurricular thing. Band is an actual class that he gets a grade for. And I'll be darned. I thought I made a wrong stitch, y'all. But anyhow, this is completely voluntary. He's going to have practice for 3 days a week. They're going to have 5 performances, and it will all culminate with a championship at Ole Miss up in Oxford, Mississippi on March the 29th. I've got his schedule here written down. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be absolutely great. And I cannot wait to see the show. And I'll probably do a couple of little videos here and there of the show if anybody's interested. There we go. Look, talking and crocheting is not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you. It is cool, Terry. I'm couldn't be more proud of him, to be honest with you. As far as I'm concerned, I've got to go to the dentist Monday, and I'm trying to talk myself out of it because I'm the biggest baby in the world when it comes to going to the dentist. And all I have to do is get my teeth cleaned, so you wouldn't think it would be that traumatic. But for the first 6 months of this year, I was at the dentist about every 2 weeks getting some major work done. And I just don't want to go back for a while. So what I thought I would do is wait until after January, because anybody with any insurance knows that there's usually a cap on dental work of what they will pay per year. And I already met my cap and went over it. So I'm thinking I'm going to call them Monday and tell them, hey, let's reschedule this for sometime in January so that my insurance will kick in and take care of it in January. Now, I don't know if that applies for just major dental work or if it applies to cleanings and stuff that's generally included in the plan as a no-cost thing. So, but it don't matter to me. It's a good excuse as any not to go, right? So you say that your sister is coming up for Nicole's surgery. So we've been cleaning all day. Oh, my. So when is the surgery? Is it this coming week? I sure hope the best for her, Terry. I know it's hard when you got a sick one, December 2nd. Okay. Well, that's soon enough. Poppy's going to be having to have another knee surgery here before too long. Hey, God's Desire, how are you doing? It's good to see you. He's going to be having a knee surgery. We don't know when yet because right now we're just trying to drag it out. He's getting cortisone in his knee ever so often to try to prolong the inevitable. And at this point, there's already so much destruction done to that knee, and it needs to be replaced anyway. So he said he don't care what he doesn't care what the cortisone does to the joint. So, God's Desire, I am just wonderful. I'd feel guilty if I complained about a thing, Oh, she's got to have that done, Terry. Well, hopefully it'll be an easy procedure for her. I hope so. Especially if they do it laparoscopically, it should be pretty easy. Hey there, Mama. Love that lips. Thank you. Coming by but can't stay. That's all right. I'm glad you did, Carol. Thank you so much. Look, I don't go too many places without lipstick, but this is not, y'all know this is not usually the color that the one that I normally use. went dry on me. So I asked my daughter for some, and this is what she gave me. And it's a little loud for me, but that's okay. You know, once in a while, I think it's okay to experiment with things. I'm not sure that I'm super happy with the color, but it'll do for tonight. What do you think? Yeah, prayers for all those upcoming surgeries. It's I'm more concerned for Terry's wife really than I am for Poppy. Poppy's an old veteran at having all these surgeries because of his arthritic condition that he has. So he usually does pretty good as far as, you know, recovery and stuff is concerned. Look, if I'm bothering y'all by looking down at my crochet, look, God's desire, I wanted to show you how much I've got done on this blanket. I'm kind of tickled with myself because what I did, you know, I was working on this one at the same time that I was working on this one. Well, that just wasn't working for me because it's too slow. And I figured if I would just concentrate on one at a time, I could get both of them done a lot faster. So that's what I decided to do. And I chose to do this one first because honestly, that brown one really makes my hands hurt. It picks up the color in the readers. Oh my goodness. I like the red readers. I like red glasses in general. I always have. I don't know why that is. You just finished one of your cable cardigans. Oh my goodness. Is it on your channel? I would love to see that. That's going to be the next project I make after I finish with all these baby blankets that I want to do. It's just that I'm on a timeline for these blankets. Sorry. So I'm kind of putting off the cardigan that I want to make. And the cardigan I want to make is for me, believe it or not. Normally, I'm not a crocheter that keeps a lot of my work. I give it to people that I care about, you know. And hang on one second. Got to go. Be back in a bit if I can. Me too. All my friends, and I love the colored readers, red and pink. Yeah, they're great. I will see you soon, Carol. I hope you can come back, but if you can't, thank you again for coming in and visiting with us, okay? Now I'm working on an off-the-shoulder almond stitch top for your dog. Oh my goodness, that's going to be so beautiful. Okay, go post it on Instagram because I'm super excited about seeing that. Hey, Bone Tired, how you doing, Denise? It's good to see you, my dear. How was y'all's weather today? Ours was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. We have had 2 days that have been absolutely fantastic. Hey, we have a guest. There's my favorite dude, except for Poppy.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Me and Bone Tired were just talking about how perfect the weather has been the last couple days.
It's been downright cold in the mornings over here.
What?
It's been
What
getting
is
down to
downright
40s.
cold?
40s and 50s.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not cold to me. I mean, it's cool, but it's
a little
not
too cold for me to sit out with coffee.
Yeah. Well, you know what you need? You need me to, I will crochet you a dude sweater that you
Old
can
man
wear
with a
out.
little shawl.
Yeah, I'll make you a shawl you can wear on the porch or the patio. But don't let none of your barbecue grilling dudes see you in that. Hey, did you see my thumbnail, Grumpus?
I think I did.
You got to go look at the thumbnail. I was so proud of myself. Of course, AI did it for me, but we may get our first frost of the season next week. No, say it isn't so. Make him a scarf and an afghan. I might have to do that. I just might.
That's a pretty slick thumbnail.
Wasn't that pretty slick?
That's pretty. You put some effort into that. That's good.
Well, all I did was tell AI what I wanted it to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, AI made the picture, but I did the rest. I did the rest, which isn't much, but I was real tickled with it. And I'm hoping that it gets a little bit of attention tonight. We'll see, won't we? Oh, gosh.
Who all we got in here? We
forgot to
got Terry.
do something. Yeah. Terry, God's Desire. Carol was in here a minute ago, but she had to run real quick. Bone Tired's in here. And I think that's all that's talking. It might be all that's in here right now. But I've got to do a little thing with YouTube Studio I forgot to do. So how was your day, Grumpus?
Kind of a busy day.
Oh,
May overdone it a little bit, but I'll survive.
well,
I
you
took
sound all right.
my cable box has been it's been pixelating. Some of the channels are almost unwatchable.
No kidding.
So yesterday I ran over to the Xfinity store and swapped out the box and brought it home, and it was DOA.
No.
Would not work to save my life. So today I took it back over there, and I told him, I said, this is kind of far for me to drive. How about just go back there and find me a new one instead of some rebuilt one?
Yeah.
So he came back, and this thing was totally different. But it works fine, but now I'm having a hard time. Because, I had to crawl around and fish with cables and
Right.
stretch and mess around like I shouldn't have been doing. So I'm a little sore from that, but I got the box to work. I'm just trying to get my remotes to work now.
Right.
But I kind of overdid it, stretching and crawling around on the floor and getting behind the TV and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and it's not like you had anybody there to do it for you.
Well, I did, but she wouldn't know what to do.
Well, that's what I mean. That's stinking unfortunate. I'm sorry about that. I understand how come you had to do it, though, but I sure wish you wouldn't.
Well, I wish the other one had worked.
Right.
I wouldn't have made as much work for myself.
Right. Hey, Yankee Kyle, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, we want to know, how was cardiac rehab?
It sucks.
Does it?
Yeah.
In what way?
They're going to want me to put some effort in.
Well, are they saying that you are okay to do that?
Well, yeah, they just did baseline stuff and got my schedule and all that kind of stuff. I did that Friday.
Right.
So rehab I guess it kicks off Monday. So I got to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Woo!
For 36 visits, I think, totals what I've been approved for. But I don't know if I'm going to make it that long.
You will. You'll make it.
I mean, that's a room full of ellipticals and treadmills and all that stuff. They said, you ever been on a treadmill before? I said, not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Oh, Grumpus, you do sound like me. Of course, I don't like. I'm afraid of treadmills. Well, I'm not afraid of them. They make me a little anxious getting on and getting off because I'm scared to death I'm going to end up flying across the room. I
mean, some of the stuff they said we were going to do, I said I couldn't do that before the heart attack. So I'm not trying to turn into the $1 million man or anything. I just want to be able to climb a ladder and go to work.
Right. Well, you might. The good thing about you doing this in that environment is that if you need assistance, there's going to be somebody there that can get you the help you need.
There's a really good staff there.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got they'll have me all wired up and all that kind of mess.
Mm-hmm. And you know, when you're just sitting around at home like you have been trying to recover, you lose, you, you lose strength,
I've lost 13 pounds.
and you lost weight, and you lose stamina. And this cardiac rehab is going to be really good for you to get all of that back.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll start slow, but at the end of the therapy, you will feel so much stronger. See, see, see. Denise is right.
I mean, I'm already feeling better.
Good, good. I hope you're not feeling good enough to climb any ladders, though.
Well,
You better quit. Take it easy there. Take it easy.
I keep telling myself it's just a feeling.
Hey, Jonesy, how are you? I just saw you a few minutes ago. He was over on Gary's channel. And Gary was talking about how things have gotten so ugly online between folks over politics.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and it's so unfortunate.
That's a shame.
People losing friends and family members and things like that over something that really, when it all comes down to it, doesn't affect them that much one way or another.
Well, I mean, that's why I try to keep it off.
Like
keep
I
it
told
off
my
my
dad,
live streams and all that.
Mm-hmm. I told my dad the other day, I said, it doesn't matter to me which direction this goes in, because I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to sit here in this house. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to budget like I have been. I'm going to cook dinner every night. And we're going to do the whole band thing with Murphy. And our life is not going to change. And I'm not going to allow whatever happens in another part of the country to affect me like that.
Well, I think anybody that's listened to me for any length of time pretty much knows which way I lean and what I believe in, so I don't really have to discuss it.
Right.
Because there's no discussion is going to change my mind any more than I could change anybody else's mind.
Right.
So it's a waste of hot air.
And that's the thing, too.
It's a waste of good subscribers.
But you know what I also believe, too? I don't care what somebody else votes. I don't bother me a bit. I think they should vote their conscience, just like I do.
Everybody pretty much knew how they were going to vote 6 months ago.
Yeah. And if my friend down over here across the street or wherever wants to vote a different way than I do, that's perfectly fine with me. I don't care.
Yep.
I'm not going to hold that over their head for the next 4 years. Hey, Simon, how are you? He said, Grumpus, that's a groovy background.
Yeah, that's I found that on the internet.
I really like that. A lot of times those moving backgrounds kind of make me a little woozy, but I like how slow that one is.
I try not to get anything too distracting.
Yeah, that's nice. That one's real nice.
This is a 9-hour video that's running.
And you said that you get those off of YouTube, right?
I go to YouTube and I search for 4K backgrounds, and they pop up. I just pick one I like.
Look at that.
Don't we all, Tom?
I knew that was Tom. I knew that was Tom. I'm not drinking Fireball anymore. Tonight I am drinking, what's the name of that stupid company? I just said it a few minutes ago. That Canadian restaurant, Tom, no. Crap. It's in a red bag. I lost it. Anyhow, it's coffee with creamer and sugar in it.
Oh, Community Club?
Mm-mm.
Or Folgers?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm out of guesses.
I'll be right back because it's going to make me crazy if I don't find out what it is. Okay. It's Tim Hortons.
No, I don't. I've never seen that before. That must
Well,
be
it's
local.
delicious. This is good coffee, and I really like it. Normally, what I drink is Kauai coffee. It's good Lord, the cats are beating my whole living room up. Um, it's a Hawaiian coffee. It's not the Kona real expensive coffee, but I get it at the Winn-Dixie. Oh my gosh, y'all, my Winn-Dixie is about to turn into Aldi, and I am panicked over it. I'm so upset because that's where I get all my great meat deals, and it's going to be gone. And I don't know what to do.
They got some
I just
Aldi's
don't know
here. I
what-
wasn't impressed with them.
With Aldi,
I wasn't impressed with them at all.
well, that's what I'm afraid of, is that I won't like them. And you know, Murphy goes across, the Winn-Dixie is across the street from the high school. And so after school every day when he has band practice, he will walk across the street and go to the deli and get a chicken sandwich or some chicken nuggets or something that's on the, they've got like a hot meal buffet type thing that you can get whatever you want. And I'm a little worried that Aldi won't have something like that and he'll have to eat burritos every day at the Mexican restaurant next door. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but it's a lot more expensive, that's for sure. And
Look
I
at
told him, I
Jonesy
said,
sitting out in the sun.
what?
Cool spring afternoon. What's cool? What's cool, Jonesy?
Oh, I didn't know that, Bone Tired. I thought it was a restaurant. Okay. You put honey in your coffee for the first time, and it was good. You know, my son likes to put, what do you call it? Brown sugar in his coffee. I think that sounds kind of gross, but that's just me. Yeah, I knew it was a Canadian company. I thought it was a restaurant. But yeah, it's good coffee. I like it. It's springtime over there. It is
Yes.
springtime here.
Simon's got a plan. He quit whiskey. Now he's on
He
bourbon.
did? Oh, and now you're on bourbon. Yeah. Is it spring over in Tasmania? Yeah. Okay.
55 degrees. See, that's a little chilly for me.
That's about perfect for me. I really enjoy it when it's in the 50s.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've been telling Vicky, I've been under a blanket almost for the last couple of weeks. I've been just cold as can be, and I finally figured out it must be the blood thinners.
It could be, I guess.
Because
Hey,
I'm normally
Dirt
freezing
Farmer.
her out. I'm normally
Yeah.
freezing her out, and I'm wrapped up in a blanket.
Oh my. Well, it can't be lack of circulation. They just restored a whole bunch for you.
Yeah, I figured I'd be running hot.
You know, here's something you can do, and I don't know if you've ever tried this before or not, but if you get a sock, an old sock, and pour rice in it and tie the end off, stick it in your microwave with a cup of water, just a little, it doesn't have to be an exact cup, just some
Yep.
water. That keeps the rice from catching fire in your microwave. But you get it real hot, and what I do is I'll put a blanket on and then stick it right on my belly.
Well, I got a cat. Take care of that, and I don't have to put it in the microwave.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, don't put the cat in the microwave. For crying out loud, jeez.
Yeah, Bone
But-
Tired says that's pretty normal.
Oh, okay. My I never did get like that, but I didn't have the same problem. I mean, I didn't have surgery like you did. I do take the blood thinner.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
and
think I'm taking
aspirin.
2 blood thinners plus baby aspirin.
Oh, wow. Well, that's necessary for right now.
Yep.
Yeah. add some cilantro and onions, and you got some good rice. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
It's sockalicious.
That's right. Cilantro sock, rice sock. I do that for kind of use it as a hot water bottle,
Uh-huh.
to keep warm at night. Because Wesley don't like to run the heat too high, and I get really cold when it's cold out. I mean, not at 55, but as soon as it hits below like 45 to 50, then I start getting cold. And Poppy don't like running the heat till it's 30 degrees outside.
Well, that's the way I am normally. Come wintertime, I only bump the heat up if I got company coming.
I'll be darned.
I don't think I'm too cheap.
Well, and I have a lot of like hoodies and really warm fleece breeches, and all of that stuff. And then I've got one hoodie that looks like it almost looks like a blanket. I use my Chihuahua as a heating pad.
Well, see, if it gets a little chilly in the, excuse me, if it gets a little chilly in the house, I like to light the fireplace. And that will heat the living room and down the hall.
Yeah, if I had a fireplace, I'd probably do that, but I don't have one here. And in my other house, we had a gas fireplace. Well, I done learned the hard way by buying a house with a gas fireplace that I don't like gas fireplaces.
No, I like to hear the wood crackle.
Me too.
Smell that little bit of smoke that leaks out.
Yep.
I just like playing in the fire, I guess.
Well, I think
like
that's what we are. I
like the whole process, dragging the wood in, lighting it up.
What you doing, baby? Oh. What was that?
That was a flash.
Yeah. Why do you still have your work clothes on?
I'm about to take a shower.
Okay, well, give me one.
You were talking about being a pyromaniac.
She's playing with lighters and trying to put these lighters down. Okay. Violet Cecile. Go. Get. She's trying to irritate me, y'all. You think I'm gonna let her? We have whales migrating out the front, so it's a great time of the year to sit and watch the water. Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful entertainment.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Wouldn't it? Now, here where I live, I don't believe I've ever seen a whale in the water. But in the evenings before the sun goes down, you can see the dolphins playing out there. And sometimes they'll come up pretty close, and peek their noses up and look around and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Well, how's I don't want to go into a lot of detail live, but how's your watch hours doing? Notice any difference?
Yes. And also, as soon as today rolled around, it went back down to where it was before, and I don't understand why.
I don't either.
Not only did we have that one plan that we talked about, but I posted 2 shorts yesterday and got, between the 2 of them, 1,000 views, which isn't great, but it's a start.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do some more this week. I really like doing shorter videos. I don't care for shorts that much because I don't understand how all that works as well as I need to. But I do like doing 3 to 5 minute videos.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to figure out some 3 to 5 minute things to talk about. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I mean, the plan has been in effect ever since we talked last.
Oh, okay.
Even as we speak.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look real quick because today it seemed to have slowed down a little bit as far as but then again, it hasn't flipped over yet either. Last night when I went to bed, it said 2K. Now it's back down to 19. And the problem is I've gotten so many views over the last couple of days that I don't understand why it would do that unless a whole bunch of time dropped off yesterday. You know,
Well,
when
Jonesy's got a point here. I never
you're
thought about
losing
it
what
that
you made a
way.
year ago. Right. But I think a year ago I was not pulling that much time because a year ago I wasn't doing hardly anything on, let me see. A year ago in November, I only got 48 hours of watch time. This November, I've already got 101 hours of watch time. Earlier today, that said 113. I don't know why it says 101 now. Hey, Jane Doe, how are you, my dear? It's good
Hello,
to see
Jane.
you. Jane Doe's starting to be a very special viewer to me.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me, you remember when Mona used to come all the time and she was just so very loyal and
Yeah.
she was always, and that's what I feel like Jane Doe is starting to become one of my greatest supporters, other than, of course, Grumpus here and a few of you others that show up every time. But that's special to me. You know, when you have somebody that comes to your streams every single time you post a video,
Oh, yeah.
or that's really special.
I mean, anybody that's here, they could have chosen to do anything else
They could have
tonight.
done anything else with their time, and they're here,
And
and I really appreciate that
I do.
so much. Yeah, right now it says I've got 1,309 views in the last 48 hours. And again, I'm at 101 hours for the month of November. Last month, I was at 222 hours. You know what, though? Whatever happens is going to happen, and I don't have a lot of control over it. I'm just going to start posting videos again, period.
Well, I mean, that's bottom line. Just do
Yeah.
the videos, let all the chips fall.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
And
I'm not
whatever
going to
happens,
agonize over all that.
No. I was going to go to bed, but I saw y'all on. Well, thank you, Simon. We appreciate you. It's all changing. Shorts are falling off. Long form videos are the new thing for TV. Oh, people are watching more YouTube on their big screens.
YouTube
Is that-
TV, I think. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know that my parents watch every single YouTube video on their big screen TV.
I watch an awful lot, and then unfortunately, you can't comment or anything when you're in there.
Yeah,
Feet
that's
propped up watching them.
exactly. Jane Doe, do you know who that is? It was supposed to be a joke. I don't think it was funny. Oh, I get it now, Jonesy. I'm sorry.
Is he talking about shorts falling off?
I think so, yeah. And I haven't had shorts fall off in a real long time, Tom. So what are you
Not
using?
since you saw Elvis, huh?
Not since I saw Elvis. That's right. Look, that was what. You know, I used to love Tom Jones almost as much as I loved Elvis.
Uh-huh.
I mean, who couldn't love Tom Jones, right? And I was just a young girl, but back then he was pretty, you know. And I used to tell my friends in school, they didn't know who Tom Jones was because I don't know why. They were listening to all the 80s music and they would say, "Who's your celebrity crush?" And I'd say, "Tom Jones." And they're like, "Who?" I said, "My idea of a good time is to go to a Tom Jones concert and throw my underclothes at him." And who else did I? Oh, Alex Trebek. My
Silver
heart would
Fox.
pitter patter over Alex Trebek. I thought he was the most handsome guy on television. I Oh, thank you, Jane. Y'all, anybody who wants to help me with some watch hours can click that link that Jane just posted and just run my playlist if you would like to. If you don't, that's okay too. It's not unusual. Anyway, do you know I watch him on The Voice reruns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen him on some of those YouTube.
I watch him on the YouTube videos on The Voice, and man, oh man, he still got it. He really does. When he sings, to me, he sounds just about like he did 30 years ago when he was in his heyday. Well, probably 40 years ago now, isn't it?
Probably so.
When he was in his heyday. But he sure was something else. Okay, I'm caught up with my comments for now. So what'd you have for dinner?
Nothing to brag about. I put on some pot of soup beans
Oh, that
yesterday
sounds
and
good.
let them cook all day with some ham. And
Yeah,
had that last night. Had the leftovers tonight.
that sounds delicious. You know, I love doing that, but I'm the only one in my family. Well, Poppy will eat them, but me and Poppy are the only ones that will eat them. The kids will not touch them.
Well, I found a little bit of ham that I'd already cooked,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd put it in the freezer, so I just diced that up
That sounds good.
and
Sounds delicious.
just put them on yesterday yesterday morning, and just let them go all day on low.
You know what we had? I did it the easy way tonight. I took some chicken thighs and some chicken legs and put them in a glass casserole dish, threw seasoning all over it, and let it bake. And then I took it off of the glass dish and put it on a cookie sheet with a rack on it, stuck them up there, and threw some barbecue sauce all over it and stuck it back in
Nice.
the oven.
Nice.
And man, I'm gonna tell you what, it was good. I used I almost knocked myself over.
Did you think about putting some Uncle Steve's smoke bomb on it?
I did not.
It tastes
And I
like it's
should
coming right
have.
off the grill.
I really should. Hang on, I gotta fix this. Okay, I got it fixed. I used this Kinder's barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I've tried it.
It was good. I was really, really happy with it. I'll probably buy it again. I also bought the one that says gold on the bottom, and I'm assuming that means it was cooked with mustard or made with mustard in it.
I don't know.
And I'm looking forward to trying that one too, but I didn't do it tonight. And Tom Jones has his son as his manager. No kidding. You want
keep
to
all that
can
money
some-
in the family.
Right. God's Desire wants to can some ham and beans. You would need a pressure canner for that, right? I think you would.
I would think so, but
Yeah, because you don't have no vinegar and acid in there.
they don't last that long around here to can any.
Me either. What?
I got 2 people in my house, and we just devoured a whole big pot of them in the
That's
last
what we
24
do.
hours.
Yep. That sounds like my house. Let me see. Did you hear that song Sex Bomb he released a couple years back? Jonesy, if I did, I didn't know the name of it. Let's put it that way. And Simon said it was 50 years ago that he was in his heyday.
Probably about right.
He probably is because, yeah, 50 years ago. What is today's date?
Today is the 16th.
Yeah. I was 8 years old 50 years ago. That's interesting. I had a real interesting experience the other day on Facebook. One of my cousins had posted a family picture, and it happened to be of someone in our family who passed away. Well, the child of that someone, who is now a grown adult older than me, But the child of that someone said, "Oh, I can't believe that it'll be on the 28th. It'll be 50 years since so and so passed away, her daddy." And I thought to myself, because I know what the date was very well, it wasn't the 28th; it was the 18th. And the way that this person said passed away was just hilarious to me, because he was responsible for his own demise. And I thought, I understand that this is Facebook and nobody should be airing dirty laundry on Facebook. Still, how can you not know the date that your parent passed from this world? I don't understand that. But I didn't say nothing. I didn't say a thing. I just scrolled on by it.
Well, I lost my dad a few months ago, and I don't remember the date already.
Well, you weren't very close to your father either.
No, and that was, that's 1,000 miles away too.
Right. You were born in 70, and Tom Jones was already famous in this thing. He was. You're right. Just keep rubbing it in there, Simon.
Yep.
And at Jonesy's house, it is already the 17th.
So he's from the future.
Yes, he is. And, if I ever know what's going to happen tomorrow, I ought to just send Jonesy a message, huh?
Maybe he can give me a couple of stock tips.
Right? No kidding. Well, I will say that Vanguard's S&P 500 fund has done very well for me. Real well. You were born in 69, Bone Tired. Well, I was born in 65, almost the very last day of 65. And it's 3:48 p.m. on Sunday. You were born in 1953, Grumpus.
Yes, ma'am. It's getting harder and harder to scroll down every time I need to pick your birth year.
It just flies.
takes a couple of swaps on that wheel now.
I get it. Well, I'm not too far behind you. Dad was born in 48. And sometimes, this is the honest truth.
Tom's bragging he's a youngster here.
Oh, he is he? And Terry was born in 77. Poppy was born in 73. Look at there, Tom, 1954. It's like spinning the dollar wheel on The Price is Right. Yeah. That's the truth, Denise. I give it a hard spin, usually get it close to 70. I married Poppy when he was only 27. And I was a little older than he was. I was in my 30s already. And sometimes I look at him and it's hard for me to believe that he'll be 52 in January. And because I still have that picture of him in my head from when we were. Do you do that too? With Miss Vicky?
Yeah.
You see her at every age.
I see. It was hard when we were a decade apart. But she'd be catching up with me pretty quick.
Well, and that's the thing,
Oh shit! I thought somebody snuck up on me. I thought, who the hell is that?
Don't do that to yourself, Grumpus.
This background's got too many ads running. I seriously almost turned around.
I'm like, what the devil? Oh, listen to that. Jonesy, I'm not a cradle snatcher. We're only 7 years apart. Jeez. Creepy old guy walking out of the bathroom. That was pretty darn funny. Get your gun, Grumpus.
I was trying to think of every neighbor I have. That is funny.
Oh, good Lord. Woo, woo. Hot, 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 hot. Made us all jumpy. It did, didn't it, Jane? Thinking, Grumpus, watch out! Well, you know, actually, when I saw a human back there, all I saw was a form of a person. I didn't get any details because this is so small. And I thought maybe Mrs. Grumpus had come in to give you a drink or, I don't know, something. Snack. Kiss on the cheek. Who knows? But this, you know, this blanket that I'm making is getting extremely monotonous. But now that I'm over halfway finished with it, it kind of doesn't make sense to stop now, does it? Because I don't want to finish it. See?
Well, you're about done, aren't you?
No. No, I mean, it's wide enough. See, it's just going to be a little car seat blanket or a stroller blanket. It's not going to be a full-size blanket. But I probably need to... Let me see something. Where's my sticks? I don't know where my tape measure is. But it looks to be about 15 inches long, and I need to put at least 24 to 30 inches total. So
you're half done.
About halfway, yeah, but it's really starting to get annoying, and I think I'm going to put it away because I'll start on it again in the morning. It's getting monotonous. The same thing over and over and over again. Thank you, Miss Jane Doe. I appreciate that. I got this pattern from a website or a YouTube page called Daisy Farm Crochet. And I had never seen her page before. And I really got into it and started looking at all of her patterns. And they're absolutely gorgeous little patterns. And I usually do bag a day, something like that. But
we'll see you, Tom.
Good night, Tom. Take care. Oh, she got to get up at 2 a.m. Welcome to the club, Tom. Just be glad you're not wearing the paper drawers. But anyhow, Jane Doe, if you're interested in crocheting, that's a great Facebook page, I think, to look into. She does tutorials and she'll show you what to do. And nothing is super, super difficult, kind of like bag a day. Oh, so what do you got planned for the week other than therapy or rehab? See, I don't like calling it rehab, Grumpus, because it makes it sound like you're going to drug rehab.
Well, yeah.
And I don't want...
I felt...
And I don't want folks to think that about
I'm
you.
Grumpus. I exercise too much.
I exercise too much. So I'll call it
exercise habit.
Exercise. The gym. The gym.
There you go.
There we go. Tugboat heading out. Must
Well,
be
I got them set up for like 9 o'clock in the mornings.
Oh, okay.
So even if I go back to work, I can still do that. Still be in the work probably 10:30.
Okay. So you think it's going to take about an hour each visit?
They said a half hour to an hour.
Okay. Um,
But I'm sure once I've had enough, I'm out of there.
I don't blame you. You know, when they recommended that I take the cardiac rehab, I called them up and asked them why. And most of mine was not because I needed it. And I told you this story before, but hey there, Violet's old piano teacher. I'm so sorry. Storyville the band. If y'all have not checked out that YouTube page, please do. He is a wonderful pianist, and they do a lot of jazz. They do a lot of Elton John type stuff. They do. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys. But yeah, that era of music, and they're really, really good. Really good. Darren, thank you. How come I didn't know that? It's a senior moment, Darren. So yeah, if anybody could throw their link up, I would really appreciate that. And I'm sure Darren would too. Darren taught Violet how to play the piano and pretty much about everything she knows about music. I mean, she took band in high school, but she learned most of her music theory from Darren. And you're still playing out. Good. Yeah, those senior moments ain't no fun, are they? I'm really embarrassed that sorry.
Well, talked to my boss again Friday. Talked to my boss Friday and still trying to convince him I need to come back to work for a few hours. And he's not buying it.
When do you think he'll let you come back? Do you think
I don't know.
Make you get a doctor's statement?
His daughter is a nurse, and I think she assists in operating rooms and stuff.
So she's also assisting in him making a decision as to when
I guess
he can
next
come
time
back.
I talk to him, I'm going to ask him when his daughter's going to let me come back to work, because she's in his ear a lot more than I am.
Right. Hang on, I will go find that. Well, I know that you're bored, and I know that you're going stir crazy in the house, but it might not really be quite time yet.
Well, he's we're in the process of looking to get another building built. You know, we lost one in a hurricane.
Yes.
So we're wanting to build that back, and a little bit bigger and a little bit better, and maybe in a different location. So I may go in. I may drive in Tuesday or Wednesday and pick up some papers, because he's talking about maybe doing some CAD drawings before we start construction on where, how we can lay out machinery and stuff like that. So I can do that from here.
Sure you can. Yeah. And while you're there, you might even be able to set the printer up to where it communicates with your printer.
That's what I really need to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how much physical activity that would take as far as turning yourself into a pretzel underneath a desk or something.
No. It's all IP addresses and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jane, for posting that link for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, if I could do some CAD drawings or something like that here, because that would really be better here, because there's no interruptions or
disturbances.
Anything to pull my attention away from it.
Right.
Which is what I would have if I was at work.
Right.
So we may work out something
where you can close your door at work, or
no,
is everything
I don't have,
open?
It's pretty open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just me and him there. So, but even at that, with phones ringing, people coming up from the shop needing stuff, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But then again, I want to give him a break too, because he's not.
Did you see what Simon said? Now I'm wondering what's in Charlotte's cup. It's Tim Hortons coffee. Go get you some, Simon. I don't have anything planned except trying to do videos, and that's it. I am
good
going
plan.
commit my whole week to making videos, whether they're shorts or just little dumb things I decide to do throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of folks are not that concerned about little old Charlotte and what she's doing in her paradise.
Might
down
be
here in
surprised.
Mississippi. But I also know that I watch channels every single day where somebody's showing what they ate in a day,
Oh, yeah.
or how they did their dishes, or how long does it take me to do laundry today? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I've got these 5 cats. I can put the camera on the cats all day long and probably be a YouTube millionaire.
You know,
Love
if you could,
cats.
if you could get you a GoPro and just strap it onto one of them cats, that'd be a pretty good channel.
How fun would that be? I have a GoPro.
I told Vicky one day I was going to strap the camera to the turtle and just see what it does all day.
Wouldn't it be fun to strap one to the fish?
Well, my turtle gets out of the pond and roams all over the backyard.
Oh, yeah, that's what you need to do.
It'd be
'Cause
fun to watch that.
Yeah, you
See what
can,
it gets into during the day.
the GoPros, if you put them in those cases, they won't get affected by the water, right?
Yeah, they got some waterproof ones.
Yeah. That would be fun. You know, with all these cats around here, you know what I ought to do is take a video of my little handicap cat, the one that only has 3 legs.
Yeah.
She's not a real friendly girl. In fact, she might be the devil.
Well, see, I had my security camera focused on focused on a hummingbird feeder about 2 foot away from it most of the summer, and I would just log into that and just shrink it down, put it up in the corner of my screen, and watch that all day. Watch the hummingbirds come and go.
Oh yeah. She I think I want to do that. I think I'll see. There's a lot of things that I could do and just experiment with these things.
Yeah.
Since I haven't done anything, and there's a couple of recipes I'd really like to make. I make a vegetable beef soup that I absolutely love, and it's not the soup that is so good. It's what I do with it after I get it in the bowl that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd kind of like to demonstrate that and turn
When it start cooling off, people will be looking for those kind of recipes.
Well, you know, in other parts of the country, it's already cooled off.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones down here still sweating.
That's true.
But I want to make
Me and Vicky sat out on the deck today and had the fans running because it got hot.
Did you really? She had the day off today, didn't she? It's weekend. Yeah. What is she doing this evening? Just sitting out there watching TV?
What time is it? Well, she's already in bed. She's already in bed.
She's not a night owl like us.
Oh, no. No, she'd go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock if she could. Most of the time she does.
You know, when I don't have insomnia, which is rare, that's when I like to go to bed. It's about 8 or 9 o'clock, somewhere in between there. And then I get up at like 4 in the morning. I can get so much stuff done in my house. Nobody's here. I mean, they're all in bed, so they're not bothering me and they're not going behind me, messing things up. And it's kind of nice. I can sit here and drink my coffee in peace and quiet before they all get up.
I've actually been trying to make myself lay down at midnight.
Yeah.
Just to get a few hours extra, but I find myself waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning every morning, just wide awake.
Yeah. You know, when we took Murphy to the doctor this week about his sleep problems, the doctor told us, she said, because we've tried all kinds of medications for him, and I'm getting really tired of basically having my kid on drugs, even though it's medicine. It's crap to put you to sleep, okay? It's drugs, as far as I'm concerned. And I was willing to try some things. And this last one that she gave him, I just wasn't willing to try. Because to me, I told her, I said, you know what I'm afraid of is the Elvis syndrome. Give him something in the morning to get him up. and then get him something at night to put him
Yeah.
down. And she says, well, you know, Elvis did opiates too. Okay, that's not the point. The point is I don't want my kid on all these drugs. So lemon balm tea works great for sleeping. I got to write that down.
You know, when I went in for my meeting yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
Sat down and had, oh gosh, we probably sat down for 20 minutes and talked
Mm-hmm.
and going over my medications and all that stuff like that. And she
Right.
said, well, what about your pain medications? I said, I haven't taken anything since a week ago Wednesday. She said, oh, really? So you haven't been feeling anything? I said, well, I feel a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
I said, the way I look at it, if I'm pushing myself too far, I want to feel it.
Right.
If I numb my whole self and then I overexert myself, I'm not even going to know it until the damage
Exactly.
is done.
Not till after it wears off. Good night, Bone Tired. You take care of yourself.
And I
Sleep
told
well,
her, I
my
said,
dear.
I'd rather just power through it and maybe heal up a little quicker.
Right. Right. I'm really proud that you've done that, though, Grumpus, because that pain medication is no joke, and I think that people should get off of it as soon as they possibly can. Now, if that means they have to take a Tylenol, okay, take some Tylenol or a Motrin or something.
but
Well, you probably
I've
shouldn't
never-
take Motrin.
I've never taken anything
Right.
all these years, so what they do give me just knocks me stupid
Oh, I bet it does. I bet it
because
does.
I have no tolerance to anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they are under the impression now that my son just has a really super high metabolism, and it might just be in his makeup that right now he doesn't need but 4 or 5 hours sleep every day.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, his daddy was like that for decades.
That's the way I'm running.
Gene could run
I'll be
on.
up to 3 o'clock in the morning and be up, and I'll be up at 6 in the next morning.
I just said my ex-husband's name instead of my husband's.
That happens every once in a while. And it
Wow.
never happens. It never happens at a good time.
Wow, I cannot believe I just said that. But Poppy, he ran on 5 hours sleep the whole time he was in the Navy. Simon said, I took pain medicine only 2 days after surgery. See, Poppy did that too when he had his hip replacement. 2 days, that was it.
Good night, Bone Tired.
Good night, dear. Yeah, I mean, to me, opiates are probably one of the worst things in the world that they could. I mean, I know they're necessary, especially for what you went through, Grumpus.
Oh, I was glad to have that stuff in the hospital.
You weren't?
I was glad to have it.
Okay, right.
But
And
once
you
I got
needed
home,
it. You needed
once
it.
I got home, I tried to wean myself off of them pretty quick.
Right. And morphine's a great thing when I was in my car accident and my leg was in 4 pieces.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I didn't need it a month
time
after
and
I got
place.
home either. But and I think too, I had a friend years ago that I met in Virginia when we first moved there. And she had gastric bypass surgery, and then she went and got all the skin work done and had her boobs done and had her gut done, tummy lift and butt lift. She had all the surgeries. Well, they were doing these surgeries back to back to back to back. They'd give her 3 weeks to recover and then do another one.
No, that's nuts.
It was nuts. Well, she got addicted to these opioid painkillers.
I'll bet.
And it took her probably 3 years to get her life together after that because she was just strung out. Got in some legal trouble over it and everything. And I feel like in that situation, number one, they never should have done surgeries that close. And number two, they should have warned her that this was a problem. When she went to rehab to get well from that, they told her that what that particular substance does is it makes you, because your body's craving it, it makes you believe that you're in pain when you're really not. So it psychs you out and you think you need it. Carol, welcome back. Great, 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 great.
Good to see Carol.
Yeah. Carol, did you do a live stream today or was that yesterday? Lord have mercy, I'm going senile. Jeez.
I thought Carol was on about 20 hours a day every day.
No, no.
Every time I turn YouTube on, Carol's live.
Carol was trying to get, she was working hard for that monetization.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sickness. That's what opioid sickness. Yeah. It took her a long time to get her life together, and I'm so grateful that she did because, and you know what's the funniest, the oddest thing about her situation was that before all of this happened to her, this was a business owner. She had 2 college degrees. She had her crap together. She was the kind of woman you never would, that's the last person you would think that would be in that situation.
Yeah, wasn't she taking all these elective surgeries though? Cosmetic surgeries and stuff.
Yeah, because after she had the gastric bypass, she lost weight so quickly that it was causing her skin to break down in spots.
Oh,
and they
okay,
had to.
okay.
Now the boobs and the booty and the tummy tuck had to happen because of the extra skin. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the rest of it. Yes, just weekends. Me and Diva, and sometimes you can go, on Barry's live stream. Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Let me send you would you throw your email address in there for me? Carol, I'm so sorry. I should have invited you. I wasn't paying attention. Where's my manners? What happened to being Southern? Darn it. Grumpus, why didn't you remind me?
I probably should have.
You know what I could do? Here's what I'll do. I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to take a chance and just put it in there.
Yeah, you got a few moderators in there. I think.
Yeah, I
you'll be all
do.
right.
I've got some moderators. So. And I'm going to tell you what, Jane Doe's about the best moderator. You're a great moderator, but you're usually up here with me, and you can do that and moderate. But Jane Doe, man, she does some stuff. She's magic when it comes to Hey there. Hey there, Cheryl. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I just don't like typing. Hey, everybody.
I understand.
How you doing, Carol?
Good. How are you doing? Look at you, psychedelic background.
I'm doing fine.
Must have known it was coming up. I like that kind of stuff.
That's right, Simon. That's one thing I need to not do. If they don't have their camera on, I'm not going to even acknowledge them.
Right.
Hey, Mona, I've dropped a link if you want to come up. And if you don't, that's okay, too.
Thank you for whoever deleted my email. I appreciate that. I went back to try and do it and couldn't get it.
I get it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm surprised that I haven't seen Barry tonight. But
Very, very sick.
he wasn't feeling well last night either.
Yeah, no. We were helping another channel. She's never gone live. It's Crazy Life Homestead. She just hit her 1,000 tonight. I was over on another live.
Good for her.
And so we were trying to show her how to do StreamYard to YouTube because she was doing StreamYard to Facebook and didn't realize it.
Oh, okay.
And then we had the issue where she must have signed out of her original Gmail. And I spent, I don't know, a little while trying to say that's what happened. And then Shawnee Grows basically gave her a visual, like, show us this page, that page. I was like, yeah, okay,
Right.
yeah, that's what. Yeah,
That's how to do it. Of course, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known how to help her that way, but I'm glad that Shawnee was able to.
well, she was able
hey.
to give her the visuals. Hey,
Right. Hey, Dwayne. Thanks for coming in. Look at this. Grumpus, we got 11 people in here, and it's 11:15. I can't believe that.
so how you feeling, Grumpus? Feel
I'm
better?
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All the doctors say I'm doing really, really, really good.
Oh, good. That's great.
So I just have to believe them because it's not going fast enough for me.
I'm sure. I'm
Carol,
sure.
he has really he's a walking miracle.
Yeah, he is.
He really is. And he's recovered well. And that's just really a testament to him being healthy, other than his heart and being all clogged up. He was a healthy man to start with.
Your color's improved in your face.
Yeah.
already. You're nice and rosy. You've got the blood flowing. You can tell a lot
Yeah.
better just by
Well,
that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
But
everybody, all the doctors I've talked to said I'm coming along surprisingly well.
Yay.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you about you like you weren't here, Grumpus.
No, no, you're good.
Okay.
I put all my business out there so everybody knows.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy that you survived and you're doing well, and
Right.
you know, because
Well, even while I was in the hospital, I think I told you, Charlotte, when they getting ready to release me, one of the administrators come walking around, see how my stay was and everything like that, and said asked me how they're treating me, and I said they're treating me like a little old man. I said they want to know if I'm eating solid foods and if I got a walker at home. I said I was on a ladder 2 days before this hit me.
Right. Yeah.
They said, what are you doing on a ladder? And I said, them projects ain't going to fix themselves.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. I think of my dad and thank God, like he never had heart issues. Sadly, it ended up, being ALZ, but he used to go up on 2-story ladders and clean out the eaves at 80 years old at a property that, he made some money there. He was working for people that were younger than him.
wow.
And, yeah, he was like helping out, and like he would tell us about how the iguanas would be up there and he would just shush them away. I'm like, Dad, you're going to fall off a 2-story ladder. Just break my heart. But I can't imagine. Were you up on the ladder when it happened?
Oh, no. It started at home. I tried to ignore it. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I tried to ignore it, and I went into work and finally called the wife about noon. I said, this ain't going away.
Oh, yeah. Did you think it was the heat, though, at first? Like a lot of people talk about sometimes when it happens, when it's hot outside, that they think it's heat stroke. Like, have you been outside working?
Well, I guess I should be ashamed to admit this, but, I've been having episodes for a few years.
Oh, you stinker. Yeah.
But I would always manage to just sit down, calm myself down. It'd go away, and I'd go back to work.
Wow.
And it was this last 6 months, had been happening more and more frequently. And so that same Monday morning, I thought, well, I'll just calm down. It'll go away. And after about, from 7 till noon, it hadn't gone away yet. So I called the wife. I said, this may be the one.
Home.
Huh? Yeah, I drove home. How else am I going to get it done?
Well, I'll tell
my mom
you.
drove herself to the ER after a stroke. So
Here.
I don't know. We can be stubborn.
There's me on top of my deck cover.
Yeah.
My gosh.
That's just a few days before the heart attack.
So crazy.
When I will say, when I had my heart attack, I had the good sense to call 911. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, you get a free ride and they put you right back there.
I didn't want to pay
911.
that ambulance charge.
Yeah.
I had to. I didn't have no other way to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was in the slow lane, about 40 miles an hour.
Time
Okay.
is money and maybe
Just
your
in-
life.
Just in case I passed out, I could at least yank it to the side of the road and stop.
Yeah.
Dear
Oh my God.
Lord,
Then you
have
would be
mercy.
calling 911 on the road. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, for those of you who don't know on the side chat, if you do have good insurance, call 911. Don't
Yes, please do.
Do not
Please
do
Well, I
do.
had good insurance, but it just seemed like a waste.
Jeez.
You could
I
have
didn't want,
You could have had that heart attack right on the road. And
I didn't
not,
want to have
not
a
just-
vehicle.
Yeah.
And my wife said, well, just drive yourself to the hospital. I said, I only have a car in the parking lot out there. So I'll just meet you. I'll meet you at the house.
Life in the fast lane.
right?
Yep.
To make you lose your soul. Yeah. It fits.
That's right.
It fits.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah, Simon, I got that like several times a day.
Yeah. They
Have
always
you
have to
pooped
make
yet?
sure you can poop.
They was more interested in that than they was in my heart, I think.
Yep. Got to make sure it's all working from the top to
The
the bottom.
yes, Jane Doe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane. Yes, I didn't want to put it that way, but thank you for doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Or even, less than an accident that you could have had with another
right.
car.
And then two of you did.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I said, I was at the side of the road going kind of slow, so.
Yeah. They'll still hit you and cause an accident, and then you're delayed more. At least
You
down
know,
here they will.
When I was about 13, 12 or 13, I went to my best friend's confirmation at her church. And they were Catholic, of course. So
Yeah.
everybody was there. Her whole family was there. We all loved her so much.
Mm.
And I looked up and she was up there with the rest of the kids, and the priest was up there doing his thing. And I could see that she was crying.
Mm.
And I mouthed to her, "What's wrong?"
Mm.
And she mouthed back to me, "My dad had a heart attack." Well, I didn't know at the time that he had passed away.
Oh.
And I'm not sure that she knew at that time.
Oh, okay.
But I found out,
Yeah.
of course, the next day that he was gone, and she was devastated, and
Oh.
But that was a really sad day.
Right.
And she was the baby of the family, and they were older parents, and
Yeah. That was my dad. Back then, my dad was an older parent.
Yeah.
So I always had that. I would have nightmares about him having like a heart attack, and I would be home with just him. But now I look back and I'm like, shoot, Dad wasn't that old compared to some of the dads now.
Oh yeah.
Like, really? He wasn't. But
And I think of my own dad, and he's going to be 77 this year,
oh,
and he'll get up on a ladder quicker
Yeah.
than you can bat an eye.
right.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Got to get it done.
he does what he does. He's got 24 acres. He gets out there and trims oak leaves and cleans up after the Hurricane Helene, and
Right.
you should hear all the now he does have a golf cart, it's not a golf cart. It's like a side-by-side yard cart thing,
Oh, okay.
like a gator cart or whatever.
Nice. Okay.
And it's gas, it's not electric. So that's what he uses to go around his property and
Yeah.
pick things up. It's got a flat, like a little bed in the back of it. It's not a big one, but it's,
Mm-hmm.
big enough for what he needs to
I've
do.
seen those. Those are nice.
Yeah.
To get stuff
That
done.
helps him a lot. He even goes to the mailbox and checks the mail, but the mailbox is a quarter mile down the road,
I know.
so- on his
Okay.
property. It's go down and around and out the gate, and there's the mailbox right there on the side of the road, but still,
Yeah,
it's a long ways to walk.
it is. It's good that that's what kept my dad, I think, going for as long as it did. With all the crap that he ate was sweating. He always swore by getting outside, being in the heat, and sweating it out. He's like, good for your body. He's right.
And he was, how
Right.
long did he live?
Oh, I was about 92. Wait a minute. If he would have been 92. He was 45 years older than me. I'm trying to think. He died December, I can't do math right now, 2018. So I was 48. So yeah, 93, I believe.
Wow.
He was 93. And,
Yeah.
and the
I
only
lost
thing,
my
and the
dad
only
this
thing that
summer.
took him out, the only thing that took him out was the ALZ. If he didn't get ALZ, he would have been still going. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Grumpus, what did you say? That
No,
was-
I'm just saying I lost my dad this summer and he was 94.
oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I'd
Well, I had my last child when I was 3 weeks before my 43rd birthday.
wow.
And
That's awesome.
that's what I said too.
What a surprise. That's what I
He
was.
was our surprise baby.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
I was surprised too.
And when I was pregnant with him, I called my dad up one day, and I was kind of miserable. I
Mhm.
wasn't sure that I even wanted to be pregnant, but there wasn't. I mean, it's too late now. Here I am. I'm going to have this baby, and I'm married. I got a license to do this, but I'm old and I don't think I can do this anymore.
Right.
He said, not long ago, I was watching a television program, and it was about women who live to be 100 years old.
Mm.
He said they had one thing in common: not their economics, not their social status, not their color, their race, nothing, except the fact that each of them had a child past the age of 40.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was a little encouraging for me.
Maybe I need to try that.
Yeah, right.
Well, it definitely meant that their hormones were working correctly at
That's
that
true.
age.
That's true.
So if you have hormone balance at that age, that's a really good sign. I couldn't get pregnant at that time because we were actually trying before we, like, in that 40 area where we knew it was like, maybe, maybe not.
Right.
Yeah, I was. No.
3.5 years before that, I had Violet, my baby girl. So I was 6 months away. Well, 5 months away from being 40 when she was born.
Wow.
But I had no idea.
Yeah.
That almost 4 years later, I'd have another one. It was just not.
Did you always do natural childbirth? Yeah.
Well,
Oh, did you have C?
No. I never had a C-section. They were all.
Yeah.
They all came down the chute.
Got it. No, that's what I meant. Like, if
okay.
Yeah, that's all.
But as far as pain management goes, I had 4 of them with no pain management and 3 of them gloriously with epidurals.
Yes.
And it is my opinion now, as an old lady who's had 7 children, there is, with the technology available today, there is no reason for a woman to suffer through childbirth. That is.
I would have liked some of that laughing gas, or like give me some edibles or something.
Right?
Like something, make it.
At least let me have fun.
Let me have fun. It's like, yeah, exactly.
You know.
They do that. I think they allow laughing gas in the UK or something. I think I had heard about that back in the 90s. I don't know if they still allow it.
Well, laughing gas is it's nitrous oxide, which means it's nitrogen and oxygen. Right. It's a little one molecule. I think it has an extra molecule of oxygen, but it's perfectly natural, and it's more of an amnesiac than it is a pain reliever. So what happens, it's like when you go to the dentist and they put the gas mask on you.
Yeah.
You feel like you were there for 12 seconds.
Yes.
That's what it does.
I love that.
Hey, KP, how are you doing tonight? Yeah. And greetings from Louisiana.
My dad went through the Depression too.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yeah.
My grandma did, and boy, she had stories. Now
my dad had a bunch of stories too.
My great grandma, she was born in 1906, and she actually had an encounter. And I don't know if this is true or not. She was known to make up stories, but she was a glorious storyteller. Okay?
Yeah, because that's what they did.
Right.
Yeah.
And she told us, me and my brother, that she had an encounter with Bonnie and Clyde one time. I don't know how true it is.
Wow.
It could be, but maybe
it's possible. It's possible.
It's possible, though. But, and she used to tell us stories about how in her town, there were no cars. People rode horses and buggies. And she was in Indiana, just southeast of Indianapolis.
Well, that's the Bonnie and Clyde area too.
Yeah. I know.
Right. Wow.
I mean, I got pictures. My great aunt was a flapper.
Oh, Granny was too.
Some of her old pictures.
The cute little curl in the hair there, and flapper. Yeah, I've got a picture of her.
Little short skirts and dancing, and yeah.
She talked. In fact, this is hilarious.
Were they more towards the city though? Did you guys hear that question? Like,
no, I'm sorry. What was it?
Were they more towards the city? The
My
flappers?
granny was not, but
Okay.
well, she didn't live near the city, but she had a. You're not gonna believe this. She had a radio show where she played the guitar and sang on the radio in Muncie, Indiana, back in
Wow.
the day. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Which I think is just
That is amazing. I
amazing.
think it's great that you know all that. Like that the story.
Well, I had her until I was. See, she passed when I was 28. So I got to hear all of these stories, you know, from her all my life.
Right.
She taught me to paint. She taught me to play the guitar. She taught me to navigate by looking at the stars. She taught me how to tell time just by where the shadow was on the ground.
Oh.
She taught me so much stuff. She taught me to garden.
We moved
Almost everything I know I owe to her. So
that's amazing. What was she? What was her background? Like, where did they come from prior to the U.S.?
I don't really. All I know is their last name was Hardwick, which is very English.
Okay. Yeah, my one grandmother was Welsh. They got here very early. A lot of the English and
well, I can trace. My grandmother and I are 4 generations apart. My great grandmother. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know her mother and father, their mother and father. I've got it written down. Okay. But that's as far back as I can get with them.
Yeah. A lot of people during World War I were made orphans. I found out from my great grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Like, she had 2 brothers in World War I.
Wow.
And one was a prisoner of war in somewhere in Asia. Was it Japan?
Could be.
I believe it was Japan. Anyhow, yeah, they did. They fought in World War I. They were young people then. They were older.
I just wondered if you had Native American in her, by the way. Like,
well, she said that one of her grandfathers was Choctaw Indian.
Okay. Just by what you were saying, you learned from her and how she could read the stars.
Well, and that's where she said she learned all of that from. You know, she used to know Native American Sign Language. She tried to teach me and my brother, but we didn't really get it. Yeah, we were very young at that point when she was doing all that. I'll never forget one time me and my brother were playing in a pear tree. And we were just little kids. We were climbing the tree, having a great time, middle of the summer or spring, whatever. And we hopped out of the tree to go do something else. And I looked down at the base of the tree, and it looked like, I said, "Oh my God, it's guts." I remember saying that to my brother. And he looked, and we got closer, and it was little baby birds.
Oh.
So we ran in the house, and my grandmother stayed with us.
Yeah.
And watched us while my mother worked. So she ran outside and she scoops up these baby birds and puts them in their nest. And she told us the mama won't take them now and blah, blah, blah. And she says, we're going to take care of these birds. That old lady, God love her, went out in the yard every morning and dig up a bunch of worms, and she would chop them up, and she hand fed those babies until they were big enough to fly off by themselves.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she was all about nature, and she was a pretty amazing, and she could write like nobody's business. I've got poems that she wrote from when she was young, and she was a really interesting lady that really lived before her time.
She sounds like she was, just from what her heritage, what you got from her. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Yes, I can barbecue.
I wish that I could sit down with her one more time and just ask her all the questions, you know?
I know. Don't you wish you could take the technology that we have now back and just videotape and like
write down all them recipes?
Right. Well, now she didn't cook much. She wasn't the cook in the family. In fact, the only thing I ever saw her make was something called a date roll. And she would use marshmallows and dates and pecans, some kind of syrup, maybe maple syrup, maybe cane syrup of some sort,
Mhm.
and she would mix it all together in this bowl and roll it into a log and cover it in graham crackers, graham cracker crumbs.
Yeah, yeah.
And she would put it in the fridge, let it chill, and then she would slice it.
Hmm.
And I could eat dates back then, and I used to love this stuff.
I bet.
It was delicious.
For it, it's like sugar shot now, it would kill us.
I know, right? But now,
But I bet it
remember
was great.
when I made that date? Was it sweet? It was butternut squash and date soup, or pumpkin and date soup.
Ooh.
And I broke out in hives from head to toe
Oh.
From the dates?
from the dates.
Do you think, did you dry them? Well, were they sulfured?
I don't know. I just bought them from the
Sulfur
store.
does that. Sulfur will give you a reaction like that from dried fruit. If it has sulfur, my dad, it happened to him too.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's sometimes the sulfur. It's not.
So
the
maybe
fruit.
if I bought some that didn't have that.
Yeah, you might, just test a little bit and see. But yeah, usually sulfur does that.
I'll do that because the soup was delicious, and I have a video on it if anybody wants to watch.
Ooh, yeah.
Um,
Perfect time of year for it.
yeah. In fact, maybe I'll put it in like a community tab, but I don't usually get a lot of views on those, so I don't know.
I know that's a rough one. Community
It
tabs
is.
are hard unless you have a really huge
A
channel.
big audience, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody sees them a day late at least. I know with mine, they're like, oh, I always see
Well,
it
now I don't
2
mind
days.
when they see it, honestly. The Cree are the largest Native American. I'm having a hard time seeing
Native tribe
in the
United-
U.S.
Yeah,
Oh, in the U.S., it's the Cherokees that are okay.
Yeah.
Well, she claims that he was Choctaw Indian, which really threw me for a loop because they are from down here. So
Oh.
how did they get up to Indiana?
walk.
Walk,
They walked, took a horse.
donkeys? I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
people got around back then. They just did.
I guess they did. Yeah.
Long
Oh, good night, Simon. You take care, hon. Dwayne says my grandmothers were excellent cooks and bakers. Granny probably was when she was a young person, but once she moved in with us, she really didn't. She didn't cook much.
Mm.
She made us pancakes,
Yeah.
but I don't remember a lot of cooking coming from her.
My grandma was an excellent cook. She liked to bake.
Now, my other grandmother on my other side, she was a freaking phenomenal cook. She was amazing.
That was my grandmother on my dad's side, who we were far removed from because they were up in New York. And
Yeah.
we were IBM, so I've been moved all around and not been near.
Right.
Like we would go visit my mom's family, but we wouldn't go up that far into New York that often.
Was your family originally from Indiana, Grumpus?
Yeah,
Yeah, they had been there for
as far as I know.
generations.
As far as I know, I mean, the stories that I heard was my dad's parents bought the property, and because they had 7 kids, so all 9 of them lived in a tent for almost a year while they built the house.
Oh, wow.
And that's the house I was raised in, and my sister now has that house.
Oh, that's great that they kept it in the family.
So
It's good.
Yeah, when Granny passed away, she had her own house up in Indiana. And the last probably 15 years that she was alive, she was not able to go back to Indiana. Because what she would do is go to Indiana in the summertime and then come down and stay with us during the school year.
Right.
And then my mother passed away, and Granny got very sick. She got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it nearly took her out.
Oh,
But after that, she lived with her daughter, my maternal grandmother. And for the next 18 years, that's where she lived, and she was not able to go back to Indiana. I think we went back twice.
Yeah.
When I was a child, and I got to go with them.
Yeah.
But her house, let me tell you what I remember about her house. Number 1, it was old. Number 2, she said that that's where she was born, in that house. Wow. And number 3, there was a well in the backyard, and when the water came out of the spigot, it was so cold that the
Mm.
spigot
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
fog up and condensation would get on this on the faucet inside the house. That
Oh,
was
wow.
I can still taste it if I close my eyes and think about it. It
Yeah.
was the best water I had ever drank in my entire life.
Yeah. That's
Fantastic.
my husband says that about his grandmother's place in Ohio. They were, and I think his uncles still have it now. And that they had the well was excellent that they had gotten with that land, and
Yeah, I really like well water.
yeah,
I do too.
That
ours is
irony
shot.
taste. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, ours is shot down here. You have to go like further up north to get good well water because a lot of us are sitting on our aquifer
Yeah, that's
in the
true.
south.
That's true.
And down here, we had some nuclear stuff that went into our aquifer.
All those military bases.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And also, we had out west of us, we had Halliburton.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My parents used to live in Lake City, and they lived on well water for I don't even know how long.
That's the hilly city of Florida.
Oh, it is not, Chris. Claremont. Claremont is the hilliest city.
Is that
in
it?
Florida.
Because when you're
Mhm.
going up, it says the Lakeland area, and that's when we start seeing the little
Well,
boat.
Lakeland's different from Lake City.
Oh, okay.
Lake City is up near Gainesville, and Lakeland is down south
Yeah, I'm
by
thinking Lakeland.
Haines City.
Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah.
Lakeland.
Yeah, is Lakeland Polk County?
It might be.
I don't think so. I think it's just
No,
outside.
Polk is over. I thought Polk's closer to. Hold on.
I know that's.
That's where
I
that.
know that's where Haines City is in Polk County.
Yeah, you're right. It's Polk. With that
Is it?
with that great sheriff? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like him.
Really? I
do
him.
not like him at all. I appreciate that he's fighting crime.
Yeah.
But I think he gets on YouTube and he showboats, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't
Number
mind
one,
it. I wish more. If they're going to do their job and they got to do that to make themselves feel good, fine.
well, and he's doing a lot. I mean, he's catching a lot of trafficking.
That's
and
what I
he's-
like about him.
Yeah,
And
he is
also,
doing a lot.
When we had issues with the little people that wanted to dress all in black and set fires and stuff.
Oh, yeah, mhm.
Here, he said, "You come in the city, we're going to have people with guns on roofs here. We carry in this,
Mhm.
so you might want to reassess." Like that's the part I like about him, where he's like, "You're going to do something that's like a criminal. You're going to get blown.
You're going to be treated like a
You're going to
criminal,
be treated like one, and your face is going to get shown so people know
right?
that you."
And that's
his
great.
Own, even his own, like if it's a cop that is a crooked cop, he'll put their picture.
Oh, he'll get him. Yep, he does. He puts their picture right up there. I've seen
Right.
him do that too.
Yeah, that's what I mean by I like him. I would like to see more, especially after these last couple of years with.
Well, and one thing that you can say that's good about that, because I always try to find the good and the bad and stuff I like
Yeah.
and don't like.
Right.
But the one thing that I think is good about it is there's a lot of transparency.
Yeah.
You know, as far as what am I, as a taxpayer in that county, what am I getting?
Right.
And that's a good thing.
And it's I think it's a high crime area too. So
It
he
is.
probably
And there's a
does-
lot of drugs there.
Yeah, and he probably does it for that, like to
Mhm.
reassure people who are average
Right.
citizens who are scared and
Mhm.
seeing stuff, and it's probably a reassurance.
I think
But-
if I were to ever move back to Florida again, and I probably won't,
I don't blame you.
it would be somewhere around Brooksville.
Okay. They have a lot of racial tension still there.
I've heard that.
It's bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is. It is unfortunate. It's both sided, like two-sided racial tension, but it's bad. I wouldn't ever move there. Don't move there.
Crystal River?
I don't know anything about Crystal River.
Homosassa?
I haven't heard
Alligator Alley.
anything negative about that.
Alligator Alley?
Brooksville, I've definitely heard. There's definite.
No kidding.
It runs deep, and yeah, I know
That's
another gardener, and he explained some of it, but it's. We have a friend that moved up there, and he was shocked. He's like,
I would be shocked. I would be shocked as well.
"Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
believe it." He said it was like going back.
Well, you know, we
Civil
moved
rights
to
era.
when we moved here to Mississippi, we were here a few years, maybe 3 or 4. And Poppy got a job in Crestview, Florida, which is the armpit of Florida.
Yeah, I've never been there.
When I tell you, you've heard the term redneck Riviera.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the rednecks behind
Oh, gross.
of Florida.
Lovely.
And the blatant racism there was so unacceptable to me, honestly.
Yeah.
That I told my husband that I'm not raising my children in this environment. We're coming back to Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I left. And I told him, I said, you can come with me or you can stay. It is completely up to you.
Right.
So he decided to quit his job over there and come home.
Good.
And we paid for it for a while. I mean, we really, it was a huge cut in pay and, you know, but it was so worth it to raise our kids here because I know Mississippi gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
But this is the least racist place I've ever lived in my life.
Oh, wow.
It is. I do live in a small town.
Right.
But everybody is most, like at the high school, those kids are friends with each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the color. None of that matters to them.
Right.
They're all, as in the band, they're all one great big family.
I love
They
that.
don't care what color each other is.
I love that.
And that's kind of how our entire community is.
That's great.
And it is skewed a little towards Caucasian as far as population,
Yeah.
but not any more than the rest of the country. I'd say 70-30, which is pretty much average.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it here. I absolutely love it here. And I don't, as far as raising a family.
Right. It's a good place to raise a
It
family.
is a wonderful place to raise kids. And I will say that till the day I die.
I have to say, we have a lot as far as if you raise kids and you homeschool, there's a lot of activities and things like that. But we're just becoming so crowded and there's no land pretty much left. So it's, the roads are getting more and more.
Are you on the East Coast?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Palm Beach County. I could take not too far from, I could go over to Mar-a-Lago and drive by if they don't have it,
Yeah.
Protected right now that he got in. So, yeah. But I used to drive by Mar-a-Lago. That was like our thing, was our drive, because we can't take mountain drive.
Like, let's see how the rich
Scenic.
people are
It was
living
A1A.
today.
It was A1A. Like if you wanted a nice scenic drive. Just A1A. That's all we have. Sorry.
I think another place I would move to would be, well, back in the day, before I met Poppy, I moved out of Florida. And it's the best move I ever made. All I did was go up to St. Mary's, but it was out of Florida.
Yeah.
And I needed to be out of Florida.
Yeah.
But my first choice was Cocoa Beach or Cocoa.
Yeah.
And Melbourne back then, that area, that county,
right,
was a really good place to live. But then they closed up the Space Center, and it went. I don't think there's a lot going on there anymore.
It was pretty dead even when I was a little bit younger.
And dead would have been good with me. That's why. And I told
like nothing going on.
A friend of mine asked me, "Why do you want to go to Cocoa for?" I said, it's the one place in Florida that has the most people with college degrees. That means when my girls grow up, they can find a really smart guy, go to college, and live happily ever after, and they won't have to struggle like I have my whole life.
Right.
But I moved them to Georgia instead, where FFA was real big. They didn't have college posters in the high school. They had FFA posters everywhere.
What's FFA? I don't know what FFA
Future
is.
Farmers of America.
Oh yeah. We have 4-H and stuff, but we never.
That's the first thing I noticed when I went to enroll the kids in that high school, and I'm like, seriously, there's no college posters in here.
Yeah.
But I will say we only stayed there a year, and then we moved to Virginia,
Mm,
and we had a really good life there.
yeah. Virginia's a beautiful state.
It is. It really is. And hey, Gary, how are you doing?
I have never been to Kansas, Dwayne. What's your thoughts on Kansas, you guys?
I've never been to Kansas either.
Never.
How about
been.
you, Grumpus? You been to Kansas?
Only to drive through it.
Yeah. Is Kansas one of those tornado states?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there
That's
anything
what I mean,
there?
from the Oz, I would
And
think it got its own movie. So,
And it's
Mhm.
pretty flat.
Is it? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
okay. Now, I have a friend here who lives here in my little town. She's actually one of my best friends here.
hmm
And she says that Oklahoma is God's country.
mm,
She said it's the most beautiful place that she's ever been in her life. I don't know. I've never been to Oklahoma,
never been to Oklahoma either.
but it is my opinion. And having never been there, I can't tell you, but I would think that out in the Rocky Mountains area would be the most beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take but one lottery ticket to get me to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Woo! Yes, sir, Bob.
That's probably the only thing that could get me out of Texas.
Yeah.
Grumpus, I talked to Poppy a couple of weeks ago about that. And I told him,
Isn't Santa Fe like his background though, or don't? Is there the
Who?
part that's like real artsy fartsy,
yeah,
woo woo?
Oh
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
part?
Well, I mean, they got a lot of artisans there.
Yeah.
Of course, you got a lot of Indian reservations up that way where they sell jewelry and on the market square. They
Yeah.
got a place on the market square that only the native Indians can sell anything.
That's awesome.
thanks for coming in, Gary.
That's what I wanted to
It's
hear.
just-
Like why he mentioned that. I wanted to know what's the draw for you.
It's
for-
just
The
very,
food.
very pretty. It's very it's hilly. There's mountainous.
Yeah.
It gets cold in the wintertime,
Mm-hmm.
but if I hit the lottery and move there, I'd have somebody shoveling my drive anyway.
Heck yeah. Hey, Duval, how are you doing? Stopping to give a thumbs up. Partied a little too much at my birthday. Happy birthday, my
Woo!
dear. I hope
Drink
you had a
your
wonderful
water.
time.
Drink your water, Duval.
Yeah, lots of water and take Motrin before you go to bed.
Yep. Good to see you. So funny.
Thanks for coming in, Gary. I understand you got to hit the hay.
Um,
Well, me and the wife, we talked about going back to Santa Fe. Well, we was going to do it on our 20th wedding anniversary, but I think I don't know if I want to wait that long.
no,
Don't
yeah.
wait.
Right,
Eat the
don't wait.
cake. Go to Santa Fe. Have a burrito.
The way I look at
Yeah.
the way I look at calendars anymore, I'm looking at it from a different point of view.
Oh,
Right.
yes, you are, aren't you?
Eyes
Well,
wide open.
I was going to tell you that me and Poppy talked about it 2 weeks ago. Remember me and you were talking about Santa Fe, and I
Yeah.
told you that that's where I always wanted to go to Santa Fe, and I wanted to just eat my way around the whole city.
You can do it.
That's my dream. And I told him that, and he, we had talked about it before, but we kind of just blew it off because we didn't have money to go on vacations when these kids were little,
Right.
And I told him, I said, that's where I want us to go on our next vacation. He said, all right, let's do it. So I
Yeah.
have an envelope now for Santa Fe.
Yay. Yeah, I've never been there either. I haven't been to New Mexico. Haven't been to
I haven't
Texas.
either.
I haven't been to many places now that I'm like sitting here thinking about it. Pitiful.
Well,
Guys,
Carol,
I will be
that's
right
where
back.
that's
Grumpus,
where
can
me
you
and the
hold down the
wife.
fort for me?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Carol,
you.
that's where me and the wife ran away to got married. Was in Santa Fe.
Aw, that's romantic.
Got married in the courtyard. Had a native Indian. Well, she was. I don't know if she was Indian that performed the ceremony, and then we had an Indian flute player played the music during the ceremony.
Oh,
So
Indian
it was
flute.
very
Beautiful.
small, quiet, quaint, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, neat.
So we said we wanted to go back on our 20th, but I'm been married 16 years. I don't think I'll wait 4 years.
No, not after what you just been through. You really opened your eyes to it.
And you can, I
Can
mean,
happen anytime.
we could take a long weekend And
Yeah.
we just fly into Albuquerque, rent a car for 2 days, and come back home.
Sounds nice. I wouldn't mind a weekend like that, but our situation with our special needs son, we really don't have anybody who we could, he'd have to come along. So I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how romantic that would be. Need a nanny, maybe. Going to be with T. Roy?
Is that where T. Roy went? Was New Mexico?
Like,
Who
T.
is
T. Roy is
T-Roy?
one of our barbecue
people?
goats.
Okay.
Yeah, Madwood's saying.
But we're going to drive. I'm not flying anywhere.
Well, it's a long drive. I guarantee it's a long drive. It'll be a pretty drive.
That's what I want. I want to be able to, if
Mm-hmm.
we want to stop and look at things, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Get some history, because we really like going on, historical sites and things like
Mhm.
that, and museums and stuff. And I just thought it would be a really fun way to take 2 weeks and just enjoy ourselves.
I'll tell you what else they got up there. They got a lot of wineries.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You get out, you get out of town, head north up around Tejas,
Uh-huh.
up in that area. There's
Yeah.
a lot of little wineries just all along. Just as you drive, they're just
That would be so much fun, just to
That would be a
stop
lot
at
of
each
fun.
one.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Well,
would
and
do that. I can't
only
drink
place
it
I've
anymore, though. I would do it, though.
The only place I've ever been out west is Vegas. And I saw the Grand Canyon from about 40,000 feet in the air, and it was,
well, you and me both.
it was as big as this
Hmm.
from where I was sitting, and
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm sure that the Grand Canyon is beautiful, but it's not on my bucket list.
Yeah, not
But
mine.
Santa Fe and Yellowstone are on my bucket list.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
I'm okay. I'm okay seeing the Grand Canyon from a plane.
Yeah, me too.
I don't need to ride a donkey down the side of it or
No.
anything like
Ooh,
that.
no way.
No,
No
have
way.
interest.
And
No.
I don't want to be on the edge of it going, holy crap, I'm going to die.
Yeah,
Just saying.
agree. Agreed.
But I was in New York probably 20 years, more than 20 years ago, with a friend of mine, and his mother passed away, and we went to the funeral up there. And he was from Ithaca.
Okay.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Up to this time in my life, that's probably one of the prettiest places I've ever seen.
Mm.
Truly. Upstate New York is beautiful.
Yeah.
But he said, I'll take you to see Niagara Falls. And I said, why do I want to see a bunch of water falling off a cliff?
Right.
Because to me, that wasn't nearly as impressive as what I thought were mountains in Ithaca. Of
Yeah.
course, he corrected me and told me that they were indeed hills.
Wow.
He said, you want to see mountains? We'll go up to the Adirondacks. I'll show you some mountains.
Yeah, there
He
you
said,
go.
These are hills.
Yeah.
And we never did get to go to the Adirondacks, but
Mhm.
those hills in Ithaca, I'll tell you, I will never forget. The Finger Lakes, they're narrow and they're really, really long.
Right.
And Ithaca is at the very bottom of, I forget the name of that Finger Lake,
Mhm.
but Istapuga? No, maybe, I don't know. But at the very end of the lake there,
Mhm.
before the mountains go like this on both sides, there's a little park that had the most enormous weeping willow trees I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
And it was spring. It was beautiful, just gorgeous. And then he showed me halfway up the hill there where he grew up. And I said, this is just fantastic. I cannot believe that you woke up and looked at this every single day and you were able to leave it.
Mm.
Because and that's when he explained that there were no jobs
Right.
unless you wanted to work for Cornell
Right.
University.
Mhm.
There were no jobs there.
Yep.
And so he went in the military and left. So
Wow.
I thought it was crazy though, because the scenery is just so peaceful to me anyway.
Yeah. No,
Course.
it's really pretty. Upstate New York is.
Yeah.
But anything above Manhattan is considered upstate New York when people talk, which I didn't realize growing up.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Of course, I don't know a lot about New York. Carla, hi.
Let me see.
I must have been in the bathroom when she walked in.
I'm just trying to see where I was. I was like 16, so I'm not remembering when we went up. It was up to Shrin Lake, is where I went in at winter time.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up winter. It was cold as heck.
Ooh.
I got sick. I was visiting Word of Life Bible. It's like a Bible campus. It like a college. It's like a Bible college,
Okay.
but in the dead of winter.
Whoa.
I was a full on
No.
Floridian by that age. So yeah, almost killed me. It was gorgeous. to
Yeah.
look at. Just
Yeah.
my body couldn't assimilate for like, the weekend at college kind of thing, show you around
Right.
the campus. No, I ended up in like the sick bay and just like, okay, guess I'm not coming here. Yeah,
Well, Grumpus says that's why he left Indiana. He didn't ever want to see snow again.
That was my
That's
dad.
right.
That's why my dad left New York too.
We had a blizzard in '77. Well, it was December, January. I can't remember. So it might have been '78.
Yeah.
But no, we got snowed in real bad. They had Army half tracks out pushing snow.
Wow.
Huey helicopters taking old people medicine and stuff.
Oh my.
Oh,
And they
wow.
quarantined the whole town. They said they'd flat out arrest you if they caught you out on the roads.
What year was
What?
that?
I think it was January of '78, I believe.
Okay. We were in
Either the first part of January or the end of December in '77. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I told my wife at the time, I said, build your snowman, take your pictures. We're out of here.
Right.
And I made some phone calls and had me a job down here waiting. So my last day at work was on Wednesday. I packed on Thursday, left Friday, and started my new job on Monday.
Oh my goodness.
Your wife was like, guess you were serious.
And I went back and got her 2 months later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I moved down on a motorcycle. I packed all my stuff in a little trailer behind my motorcycle, and I just headed south.
Wow.
You have really had enough.
From
I had
Indiana
enough.
to Texas on a
I didn't-
motorcycle.
I didn't see Indiana in my rearview mirror because I didn't even look.
Sound like my
Your
dad, but
vision
not on
was
a
locked
motorcycle.
straight ahead.
I had tunnel vision.
Right. Oh my goodness. That's too funny.
And I've only been back just a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back from my high school reunions, and that's about it.
You know, my my mother-in-law, she moved from Florida down near Bradenton
Mm-hmm.
up to Richmond, Indiana, which
I've
is
got
not
an aunt and
far.
uncle lived in Richmond.
It's not
Wow.
too far from Indianapolis, maybe what,
Mhm.
60, 70 miles?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe
Something like that.
maybe an hour drive.
Yeah. And anyhow, since she got there maybe 10 years ago-ish,
Mm-hmm.
they have not had snowstorm like that.
Right.
No blizzards, one winter they didn't even get any snow.
Yeah.
And I said to her, because my family is from Modoc, which is right close to Richmond. In fact, I remember my grandmother telling me about her and her husband when they were young. They would go to Glen Miller Park in the wintertime and go ice skating on the pond.
Yeah.
And anyhow, Granny used to tell me in that old house that she was born in that it would snow so much that they'd have to climb to the second story to get out.
Wow.
Where I lived in a third floor apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and there was 3 buildings kind of in a U shape,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that wind got in those buildings and just dumped all that snow.
Ooh.
You could barely tell where the cars were.
Oof.
I was on 3rd floor, and my buddy in the apartment under me,
Mm-hmm.
we both got snow shovels and dug to the 1st floor to let some lady out of her apartment
Oh my
because
God.
she couldn't even see out of her windows.
Poor thing. Poor people that were stuck.
But we basically just dug down there to get some light in the windows, so
Right.
she was about to go crazy.
Right.
Thought she was going to suffocate or something.
Oh.
Yeah, I would feel
But
that
yeah,
way,
that
too.
snow was probably
and the
5,
thing
6,
is-
7 foot deep.
If it doesn't warm up, that snow sits there for how long?
Oh, it'll stay there a long time.
All winter?
You know,
I've seen it snow before Thanksgiving and not thaw out until spring the next year.
Oh
no.
my
No.
gosh. See, that's the kind of snow I would never want to live in.
And by that time, it's thawed a little and froze a little, thawed a little. So it's
And
just
it's
nothing
just
but
ice.
it's just dirty ice
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Muddy
It's
ice.
not pretty.
Yeah.
right.
But no, I don't miss none of it. None of it.
See, now I think the weather where I lived in Virginia was absolutely perfect
Hmm.
because we got all 4 seasons. It didn't, I mean, it snowed,
Mhm.
but it was the kind of snow that it'd be 2 inches on the ground for maybe 3 days and then it would go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful falling. I remember sitting on my sofa in my living room and I had a great big picture window in the living room and I'd pull those curtains, have the fireplace going, sitting there with my coffee or hot chocolate, watching the snow fall. And it was just magical, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds glorious.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
But when it doesn't stop.
But us guys are out there shoveling the path to the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we got to shovel out the driveway behind the car,
Right.
only to
Yeah.
find out the car won't start.
Right.
Then you're screwing around with the battery all afternoon.
Yeah.
By the time you get to work 4 or 5 hours late, they let you know, well, we shut down. We sent everybody home.
Oh my gosh.
So
Awful.
I don't miss none of it.
Mm-mm. See?
When I got my first job there in Virginia, I was working for a mortgage company
Mhm.
as an office manager. And, you know, we were doing the little orientation and it was just me. There were 3 other loan officers in the building and me, and that was it. And so they're talking to me and my boss says, was going to talk about the snow day policy, snow pot, whatever. He goes, you ever seen snow before? I said, no. He said, where are you from? I said, Florida. He says, yeah, your snow day policy is stay home.
That's
Yeah.
right. If it ever snowed, we'd be in shock. Boy.
Right. And every time it snowed, I would stay at the house and I'd call him up and say, hey, remember you told me to stay? He goes, don't you dare come in here.
Cute.
I had a great boss at that company. I wish that I could have stayed with them, but that's when I started seeing double and everything, and I had to stop working.
Where about?
Well, I tell you what, it gets a heavy frost down here, and these people lose their minds.
Don't they? Don't
I
they?
bet.
I mean,
Are you gonna-
if
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
even a light snow will blow in. It may be powdered on the ground at 7 in the morning. It's melted and gone by 8:30.
Right.
Mm,
Right.
probably scares them after that deep freeze that happened in Texas. They probably
Yeah, that was very unusual.
yes.
What
Mhm.
is a Scotch filling steak?
That's what I was asking. What's Scotch filling? Or did you fill up a little bit on Scotch and then have your steak?
That's
and
what I'm
some
wondering.
vegetables?
Fillet, fillet.
Scotch fillet steak. Oh, I don't know what.
Oh,
fillet.
okay.
What is that, Grumpus?
I still don't know what the Scotch part is.
Yeah, me either.
Sure. My son is in the kitchen making French bread toast, and
Mm,
my daughter brought. Let me see the jar, sweetheart. I'll show him.
Big enough for the group.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
sounds
She
good.
brought us this jam
Oh yeah.
from the World Market.
Mm-hmm.
It's blueberry and blackberry. Oh, black currant or currant.
All
however you
right. I
say
bet it's
that.
delicious.
It is delicious. He made me one. Was it last night? Yeah, last night he made me a piece of this toast. Make
Mm.
sure you put butter on mine this time, okay, please? Okay, here's the stuff back.
Mm.
Thank you. He
Oh,
just
that's
pointed to it like this, and I said, "Yeah,
Yes, please. Yes,
just one
please.
little piece of French toast
Oh,
or
I forgot to
French
tell
bread."
you. Malachi said the other night, "Where are you, Daddy?" And then today, my daughter was going by him when I was outside pulling when I was pulling like weeds, and he was looking for me and saying, "Where are you, mommy?"
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful.
So they
That
don't
is
say
so.
the W's. I'm like, that's an answer to prayer because
I
they're not
know.
supposed to
I
do the
know it
W's.
is. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get emotional. Jesus.
I know. I
Oh.
couldn't believe it. And of course my husband is just like, no, I didn't hear him say it.
Oh
And
my
he's no
goodness.
reaction. Like he doesn't know. He just doesn't know how the W's are very hard for
Right.
autism spectrum that you don't
Right.
usually hear that. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you.
I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
maybe think, you know what? My grandson, and he's pretty much nonverbal.
Mm.
And every doctor he has seen this year, she's taken him to 3 different specialists, and every one of them say, no, he's not autistic. He has severe ADHD and OCD. Well, then why can't he talk?
Right.
But they're calling it a speech delay.
Okay. How old is he?
4.
Yeah.
But I will say this. The other day I was sitting here with him because my daughter had to go to the dentist. So she
Right.
dropped him off, asked me if I'd watch him till she got finished. And of course I said yes.
Yeah.
And she had just left and I got a phone call from her. And she goes, Mom, I forgot to tell you, me and Oliver are going to the Japanese restaurant for lunch. Do you want to come with us? And I said, sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Well, I hung up. I looked at him and I said, hey, Oliver. And he looked at me and I said, you want to go have lunch with Mommy?
Oh.
And he looked at me like I had 2 heads and said, Mommy not here.
Oh, you darn. Well, his receptive.
Nothing wrong with him. He just ain't got anything
to.
to say.
Right.
It's receptive. It's fine.
But now his behavior at school is
Yeah,
not as bad as it was. He's not getting kicked out anymore.
that's good.
He's not biting teachers, but
That's
he
just
is
being nonverbal, though. Some kids have a different way of expressing.
communicating.
Yeah, of communicating, of expressing. Yeah.
And a lot of times the biggest problem is transitioning him from one task to another.
See, now that's on the
gets-
spectrum. That's weird. But
He gets
ADHD is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets so focused in on what he's doing, he gets mad when they
That's
try
amazing.
to move him to something else.
Yeah.
And that's when he'll try to hit the teacher or kick her. But she's trying to make him do what he doesn't want to do. And he can't tell her, leave me alone. I want to finish this.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And what she should say to him is, we can finish this tomorrow. When
Right.
you come back, we have to do this now.
Yeah.
Another thing I do with him, when he starts acting like, and see, it doesn't get that far at my house when I'm with
Yeah.
him. Because number one, it's just me and him, and he gets all of my attention.
Yeah.
And he's okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
So I really don't have a lot of problems with him. But when he does start to act up or have a temper tantrum or whatever he's doing, I'll say, come on, you want to go play in the garden?
Mhm.
And we'll walk around the garden and I'll let him pick some flowers or I'll let him talk to the chickens.
Mm.
And within 30 seconds of walking out that door right there, he is fine.
Right.
So
Right.
basically, he just needs something in between the transition to distract him.
Yeah. Yeah. Or he needs a visual schedule so he knows.
Yes, and that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They just had an IEP meeting last week, and that is
Yeah.
one of the things that they're going to do for him is
hard.
get him a visual schedule.
Yeah. We have one, and it's like Malachi he doesn't understand the visual, but I'm hoping with the ABA therapy that we're going to get soon that he will. But I swear the therapist in charge, he's great. He's great at writing up the plans, but he couldn't get the first paragraph right that I was no longer the foster parent. That
You are the parent.
I'm the parent. Yeah. I let him know
Right.
it. It was just like, I haven't been a foster parent for, and I wrote it out for him. But the first time too, when I sent something back and I was like, yeah, I can't sign this because of this and this in this first paragraph. And I
Right.
thought I had told him about the other.
Mm-hmm.
He missed it. And I'm like foster parent all through the first paragraph. I'm like, oh gosh.
The Scotch fillet or fillet is found on the back of the animal and runs from the strip loin to the chuck. So it's the back strap, right?
Lower
the
back,
fillet,
yeah.
the tenderloin is what we would call
That's what I was
it,
going
right?
to say. Do we call that the tenderloin?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I miss being able to get the whole tenderloin and just cutting up our own steaks. When
Oh
we
my
were-
gosh, I bought one 2 weeks ago. You're not going to
Ooh.
believe it. I paid $47.44 for it. This great big freaking tenderloin.
What was it a pound?
$8.99.
Okay.
Good deal.
Mhm. And so what I did was I took about 8 inches of it
Mhm.
and I made it into a roast, and then I cut the rest of it up into steaks.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I used to do.
And I had some of the steaks night before last, and they were phenomenal. They were so good.
Yeah.
So
love
good.
I
And-
just saw some guy do the same thing with a big sirloin. Like he took the whole sirloin, cut his own sirloin
Yeah.
steak.
I usually buy a whole sirloin. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. I guess he said he got it from Costco, but he sous vide them first.
Oh,
Yeah, he sous vide them with butter and rosemary because he's on that, purely carnivore diet.
mm-hmm.
And he, after he did that, what he does, I think he puts them in. They're cooked, but he puts them in the fridge, and then he'll just take them out and pan fry them before he wants to eat them or something like that. And he said it cuts it on time, but it also cuts it down to like $7 a big sirloin steak for him. And he had a lot of steaks. Like after he was done,
Right.
couldn't believe it. I've never done that with sirloin. I've done it with
Yeah.
tenderloin, but I've never done it with sirloin.
I've done that a lot with sirloins. I cut off the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your little culotte steaks.
Okay.
Your picanha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'll cut those off, and then I usually on a whole sirloin, I can get about 8 good sized steaks
Me too.
and a little roast.
Okay.
Now those steaks would be about an inch and a quarter thick, so I can cut each one of those in half,
Mm-hmm.
and each one of those halves will feed me and the wife.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
I'll get 16,
8
18
meals.
Yep.
Mhm.
16 or 18 meals
Yep.
Right.
out of that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
a little roast, enough for maybe 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the way to buy them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
If you
I
could put
think
that money
now
up front.
that now that our Winn-Dixie is turning into an Aldi
Mhm.
in January, I'm going to get a Sam's card and go start buying my meat that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, is there a?
In the
Do you
big
have a
rolls.
Costco around you too?
Yeah.
I don't. The closest Costco is over in Mobile.
Okay.
But I do have a Sam's Club, and my daughter actually goes to Costco in Mobile probably once every 3 months or so. So I could always catch a ride with her or
See,
tell
I
her.
like Costco's meats better than Sam's.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The one by me is a lot bigger variety.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The,
Yeah.
the stuff packaged up looks nice and fresh.
Yeah. Is it? Do you have to pre-order when you're asking for that whole sirloin at Costco?
I've always bought them at my HEB
Mm.
or Kroger's.
Oh, okay.
But generally, if you ask them, I mean, if they've got sirloin steaks
Right.
in the coolers,
Right.
then they're cutting those up for you. So you
Right.
can go to the counter and say, "Hey," because I do it all the time,
I need a
especially if
sirloin
they're on
roll.
sale. I want to
Yeah.
buy the whole. I want to buy the whole sirloin,
Yeah.
and they always say, "How you want it cut?" I say, "I don't want it cut. I just want the whole roast."
Mhm.
Right. Right. Yeah, because they'll charge you for cutting them too. It'll
Well,
go
I
up
can get
per
them the way I
pound.
want them.
That's right.
That's right.
Like you said.
I've got to get a breaking knife. But other than that, and a what's that knife you have with the really thin blade that you trim your meat with, Grumpus?
Oh, that's a fillet knife.
Fillet knife,
fillet
like
knife.
for a fish.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fish fillet knife.
Okay.
That's my Wusthof that I use all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, I use that 90% of the time when I'm trimming
Yeah.
fat, trimming briskets.
That's a great knife.
Yeah, I have those knives. I'm not good at sharpening them. The Wusthof. I inherited those from my mom.
I have one. Son, bring me my Wusthof.
Well, I mean, there's places that you can take them and get them
Yeah.
sharpened.
Well, I have like the
It's
little
not
thing that
expensive.
you can pull them through, and then I have that thing like Charlotte was just demonstrating, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to run it on that thing. And
I
like
got one. I hit my knife every time it comes out of the block.
Isn't she beautiful?
Oh, she's very
Da, 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 da.
pretty.
And she is a smaller chef's knife.
Mhm.
Was
Like
that
this
is
part?
that the 6 inch?
Yeah.
6 or 7?
Sixer.
Yeah.
It looks about 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my Wusthof knives.
Yeah.
I've got
And I
a
think-
lot of knives, and I'm always grabbing the Wustofs.
Me too.
Me too. I grab this every day, every single day. And it holds a sharpening. I mean,
Mhm.
it stays sharp for a long time.
I'm gonna have to watch that
Poppy
on YouTube.
sharpens it for me, and right now it probably needs to be sharpened again because I can run my finger along the edge and not
Ooh, makes me nervous.
Well, I need.
see.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you the knife I got for Christmas last year.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
And Shawnee was just cutting that stuff up last night. Did you see that knife when you were in there? That she was cutting everything.
Oh, that Shawnee was using?
It
Yeah.
was a big cleaver. I don't have a cleaver
Look,
like that. That was nice.
she was so funny because all I could think of with that pulp, she was going to save it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it sounds disgusting.
Like the pulp. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
And I get, well, I just, that concoction just was,
Yeah, but it's medicinal, so
And I
just
get
think
it.
of cough medicine doesn't taste that great. I mean, I know they can make it.
I
taste-
think for me, I would rather like put it in a capsule.
Yeah, you could do that. I was
And,
thinking
and
that. Hmm.
because the taste would probably just really deter me.
Well, you could take the pulp and dehydrate it and make it into
Right.
capsules. That was what
Right.
said in the side chat too.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I hear you. I probably would, according to taste, you take this out and add that.
Well, that's why I said let's ball it up and put it in powdered sugar
Yeah.
because then it might be bearable. Kind of
Right.
like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine. go down,
Right.
you know?
Right. That's right. That was your idea. That was a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you got, Grumpus?
What you got? Come on, let's
Knife
see it.
Knife man.
These are made over in Denmark, I think.
Wait, I'm gonna make you
Oh,
bigger.
that's
How do I make you
wonderful.
big?
Let me back this
Crap,
up.
I
Up
forgot.
at the rectangle. Go to his rectangle.
Go to his rectangle.
Solo layout.
Okay, hang on.
Dots. You hit the dots on his.
Oh
rectangle.
crap.
Up here though, you hit it.
Where?
You go to his rectangle on
Okay.
the panel, and he's got 3 dots.
Yes.
Okay. Now go solo layout. It should be on, like you click on the dots. It should
Oh, I got it. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hey,
Go ahead,
you're
Grumpus. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, that's Damascus.
No, this is hammered. Let me see if I can get
Oh, okay.
the camera to focus. There we go.
Oh,
wow.
that's beautiful.
That's
These
a-
are all hand hammered, and look at the handles.
Oh my goodness. Oh
What,
my
they're
goodness.
hollow?
It's hollow.
It's the whole. Well,
That's
I'm having a hard time with
crazy.
the camera. There you go.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There, it goes in and out. Yeah. Wants to
So the whole thing is one piece.
Yeah.
There we go.
How balanced does it feel?
See the
That's
joint?
amazing. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's really pretty. It's like a work of art.
So I really like these. The balance is great.
That is beautiful.
So I got that one, and I got me a butcher knife.
Oh,
That's
it's like a machete.
That's what I was going to say. That's a machete. What kind of butcher
It's-
knife is that?
That is a beautiful set.
That is a beautiful knife.
But I just got the 2 pieces.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that was
They
plenty.
I really like them.
Okay, now what is this one used for? Like just cutting
This
up
is a
like a
butcher knife.
breaking knife?
Yeah, that. I mean, it's a good slicer for brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But like I said, butchering or sirloins and stuff like that, it's nice
Right.
and long, so you can get nice clean cuts.
Okay.
Right.
Like what we were just talking about.
Yeah. But I just thought the handles were pretty cool the way they bent them
beautiful.
over.
Ah,
Sorry.
hey, that close up one
that's
always
beautiful.
gets me.
There,
Like-
there we go.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
really
it.
cool.
But yeah, they come from
Yeah, that
I want to
wasn't
say
cheap.
Denmark,
Okay.
wherever the Dutch people are.
Holland.
No, no, it wasn't Holland then.
No?
Do you ever watch Pitmaster X?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's where I saw the knives. He was using some.
Okay.
What's the name brand? Can you say it?
These were Forge. That's just the
Forge?
name, Forge.
Okay.
But they're in Europe.
Is it FORDG or FORGE?
Forge, I believe.
Okay. Forge.
Let me see here.
Oh, yeah.
Did you find them?
What are their? I found something else and settled on something called the Badass Bar Knife Set.
Miss-
Not
Wait, no, that's Japanese. Hang on.
I found the Forged Blade. It's called. Is that maybe their website? They have some wood.
Theforge.com,
Okay, that might be it.
maybe. Let me see. Oh, wow.
Seven Forged.
Oh, no, these are Lebanese. Never mind. Sorry.
All right, let me see. Hold on.
I had a hard time finding them when I ordered them
Did you?
because they're not here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
Oh,
I think this has a bunch of different ones. This is called the Forged Blade, but it looks like it's a bunch of different types.
yeah, that's what I'm looking at, too. There's one called Forge Works.
Well, maybe that's it.
I'm going to see.
Yeah,
Handmade knives
that sounds about right.
from Black Forest, made in the Black Forest.
I was going to say, is it Deutsch or Dutch? Because Deutsch is German.
Right. And it has a T in it, I think.
Mhm. And, well, I mean, they always call them Pennsylvania Dutch, but it's actually the Pennsylvania Deutsch.
Right. I actually had a. This is funny. I was in the 9th grade, and my first little boyfriend, he was actually Dutch from Holland.
Mm.
And he was a fun guy. Of course, we were just dumb, stupid kids, you know.
Let me see, Hollow.
Yeah, he found me on Facebook and friended me a few years ago. He
Oh,
ended
wow.
up marrying the girl that he dumped me for. So
Oh.
apparently, it
Like,
was a
why?
match made in heaven.
Yeah, but why then, like, find you? Like,
I don't understand that.
like what?
He-
Yeah.
He actually, the first conversation we had was, you know, I really feel bad about the way I did. I said, honey, that was 40 years ago. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's really okay. Don't fret.
They might have been going. They might have been going through something, and he's like, "Hey, you know,
No. Well, he was barking up the wrong tree.
that's right." Yeah, I
Because,
can't find. I cannot.
Mama knows what
find-
side her bread's buttered on, okay?
That's right.
I don't have no interest in all of that drama.
Or wait a minute, maybe.
Well, never mind. When he finds it, I'm sure we'll get a link.
Yeah. I'm thinking so too, because no,
Because I'm having a difficult time finding
I
it as
can't.
well.
Yeah, I even looked up hollow handle. Nope,
Yeah.
nothing. No.
Tom
It's
from
really-
Tom Garvey, the keto cook.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of those square knives like she was using last night.
Yeah, the big butcher
And
knife. Mhm.
I think that that's a vegetable knife,
Yeah, vegetable. They have both. They have the butcher and
Okay,
the vegetable.
but it looks like a meat cleaver, kind of.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's what I thought
There
of when
we
I
go.
saw it.
but
I
I can't even imagine how efficient that would be.
Right.
With cutting vegetables. Truly.
Yeah, especially like your carrots. Those are always
Right.
in the butt to cat like with other knives.
Uh-huh.
There they are.
Look at he got it.
Oh, look.
Oh,
Okay.
you did say Amazon, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to order them through Amazon.
Okay.
I thought my brain skipped a beat.
And what did you search when you found them? Just
I went back. I remembered I got them on Amazon, so I looked.
so
up
you
my
went
old
back and
purchase.
found the order,
Went
the
back,
old
found my
order.
old purchase. Yeah,
Forge.
Let's see. Yeah, I just love that. The way
they just got a cool look about them. I mean,
They
it's got that
do.
old.
They
It's
really
got that
do.
old knife maker
Mm-hmm.
Smith look to it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Blacksmith look.
Well, seriously, when I first saw it, I thought it was Damascus steel. But I like that hammered look.
I did too.
Yeah, I do
lot.
too.
Um,
Forged Brute. Maybe that's what the name was.
B-R-U-T?
Brute.
E? Okay. Forged Brute.
But, you know, it says currently unavailable.
Oh, so it might not bring it up. Yeah.
So it's not going to bring up the, let's see what else it brings up.
Yeah. I got a true primal forge outdoor. Nope, that's not it at all because it's a wooden handle. But it's a pretty knife. The blade has got nice etching on it. Yeah. Get into some trouble on here looking at knives. Like,
You and me both.
I've got plenty of utensils. My husband will be like, "Why are you buying anything?"
There's a set of them.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. Coming back to you. Oh, it even comes in a nice box. I like it.
Yeah, that set does.
Maybe do the link. Can you do the link?
And they're,
Side
I
chat.
mean, that's not too bad for three handmade knives.
What is it? I can't.
What
My
is it?
142.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to make him big again.
sorry.
Oh, crap. Oh, here we go. Hang on just a sec. All right. There. Oh,
Yeah,
for
like-
the love of Pete.
For the
What
love of
happened?
Amateurs.
For the left.
Amateurs.
That's it.
There.
I mean, they've got a lot of different knives.
Mhm.
I can't see them.
Do you have one of those magnetic things for your knife?
I have one that sits on the counter.
Yeah, I have the one. That's
Oh, that's not a bad price.
No, that's not bad.
No, not for those knives.
Does it hold a sharp edge?
They
Real
seem to
good.
hold an edge pretty good.
And what's in that little box where you searched? Up there.
Oh,
What was your
For-
search term?
Forged Brute.
I missed,
Okay.
I missed the D. I've been looking at Forge.
Me
Not Forge.
too.
No, there's no D in it.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought there was.
See the description right here?
Hold it.
It's so tiny. Okay, I got it.
It says
Yeah.
Forge, F-O-R-G-E-D.
Just look up brute knife set.
Okay.
All right. What, 3 pieces?
Oh, I need that. That's got a paring knife and a chef's knife and a vegetable knife.
I need so many things. I have to.
And then all I need after that is the tomato knife from Wusthof. Oh, that's
this stuff has
nice.
their own tomato. Yeah, I found it finally. Yep. It did have a D at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, at
yeah,
the end. I
it
thought
does.
you meant before the G.
Yeah, no. This time I meant after. This time I meant after.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now that I got that over with.
That's what happened. I'm not a good communicator. I got to work on that.
Yeah, me too.
No.
But you know what? I'm so old, it don't matter no more.
Well, and I live with an introvert who could care less if I talk anyway, so I don't get to work on it that much.
Carol,
That's why I'm
can I have
online.
one of those?
He was sitting here watching football like most of today. Like, he's great with Malachi and he's doing his thing. I think it wasn't until he was brushing his teeth and then came out after that and he was like, "So what do you have planned for tomorrow?" I'm like, "You're going to bed and you're asking me now." "I don't know."
What I planned.
I'm like, "You waited all day to ask me." I'm like, "You could have asked me earlier. I would have gone and asked our daughter if she's got something planned for me." Because
Poppy was sitting here all afternoon with me. Well, actually, my son was sitting across from him. And I'm sitting here trying to listen to Jordan Peterson because I think he's brilliant.
yeah.
And I've got my headset on so that I am not distracted by their conversation.
Right.
And the louder I turned up my computer, the louder they got.
Yes.
And I'm looking at both of them. Now, mind you, they're within smacking distance. Okay. And they're not watching me. So started having smoke coming out of my ears. Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, I turned off Jordan Peterson and I said, could you take your Boy Scouting somewhere else, please?
Right.
And my son looked at me like I was crazy. And I looked over at Poppy and I gave him the death stare.
Yeah.
And he says, son, we need to go. We need to go.
It's time.
We need to go.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that is more, I can turn it on when I'm on YouTube and I can be social and I can be jovial and all of that,
Right.
bubbly, whatever you want to call it. And I enjoy doing that for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I'm ready to go to bed or when I'm here in the house cleaning or I'm focused in on something, please don't talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people talking to me. When I'm having my coffee, don't bother me.
Okay.
When I'm drinking my tea,
not before
don't
coffee.
bother me.
Not before coffee, please.
You should have seen me trying to run these dinglings to bed at 10 o'clock.
Oh.
I told them all at 9:30. I'm doing a live stream at 10 o'clock. I want everybody out of this kitchen. I don't have a separate room
Right.
where I can go and just shut the door.
Only reason I do is because this is filled with my mom's stuff. Otherwise,
yeah,
this would
yeah.
be Malachi's room.
Right,
I would be the same situation.
right. And now when my daughter finishes college and moves out,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll have my own room.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that my son will finish high school and college and move out before she does.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that happens. One just
But-
stays. That is the
Oh, thank you,
longest link.
Grumpus. Look at
What
the
the-
links.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not,
my
that's not,
goodness.
You might have
that's not going to work.
You might have to put that in private chat with the.
Hot diggity. We got links.
It's like
You're going to have to group them all together.
Is that one link or is that
That's all one link. You're going to have to tack it all together.
hilarious? Oh my God.
look.
Just type that in, Carol. See if it works.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Me, the one who can't type hardly at all. Oh, look. Jane
Thank
fixed
you,
it.
Jane.
Did she?
Look at
did
there.
she
Jane
find
Doe
it?
got it, man. She's on it.
Did she find it?
She did.
Hilarious.
Oh my.
Sometimes I
Goodness
can't help
gracious.
myself.
Hilarious.
Grumpus, remember we were talking about that my watch hours earlier, and
Yes.
it's back up.
Yeah.
It's back up. Yeah. How crazy is that?
They're showing you your watch hours again?
I have what is it called? I'll tell you in a second what it's
Okay.
called.
You were very helpful, Jane.
Yes. What is the
Sure.
name of this thing?
Sure will. YouTube Studio Earn.
No, it's one of those extra. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take it.
I lost.
I do that too. Okay, we'll start again. You were saying you were checking your
vidIQ. vidIQ. I have
Oh.
vidIQ.
Oh, okay.
And it's just an extension. I've got the
Yeah,
free
I have
version.
I have
And
the-
that's the little box up there that tells you whatever. I mean, you can tell it to tell you whatever information you want.
Yep.
And it's back up to 2K.
That's good.
Are we past 12? Yeah. So it's updated. Now I have 150 hours.
Wow. It's great.
Getting a little hot in my room, Charlotte.
I bet it is. I bet. Wow.
Wow. That was sweet.
Thank you, Grumpus. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Very nice.
I got 439 views today and 2,937 minutes watched.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, I posted 2 shorts videos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Grumpus, you okay?
Yeah, what
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You just faded to black on us out of the blue.
There we go, Charlotte.
Oh, dear
I'm
God.
I'm not
How
kidding
old
you.
is that one?
I'm not kidding you. It looks like we're on number 151.
Oh, that was years ago.
Wow.
That's
It's
one
nice
of the
to have friends like Grumpus.
that's one of the lives.
Yeah, thanks so
Aw.
much. Well, I made a playlist of all of my regular videos and then all of my live streams.
Yeah.
And he's been playing my playlists for me. And I really, really appreciate it so much,
Very
Grumpus.
sweet.
It might take us a while to get to 4.
But if it's not showing it on YouTube Studio, like,
What do you mean?
still, I mean, you're still monetized. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just
Yeah.
to keep it up. It's just to make sure. It's
I just want to increase it and make sure that
Yeah, you keep it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's been 2 years
Yeah.
that it's been under 4K.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Thank you, Jane Doe. There's all my live streams there. That's the playlist. Anybody who wants to click on that and play it in the middle of the night, that it would be beautiful.
I know
You're
that's
tired but not ready for bed. That happens to me every day, Terry. Just go with it.
why you're tired. I get
He's
that.
been cleaning all day. He's got company coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably wired from doing all that cleaning. And
Yeah.
then this that Jane Doe just posted is all the videos, the regular,
Oh, okay.
informative videos or whatever.
I am usually on my phone. The only time I come in here is on Friday night, Saturday night, like to be on my laptop.
Right,
If I
right.
pull my laptop out with Malachi, it's iffy, like the behavior reaction
Yeah.
that I get right now. So I haven't been able to do, like, I had to totally, when I was doing trying to get my 4K,
Yeah.
he right in the middle of me doing the morning lives that I was trying to do so I could get there around the same time as Maureen,
Right.
and also just to have different lives for different things. He just started, it was too much for him. It was too much for him to have mommy's attention not totally on him.
Right.
I had to just drop it, like, completely.
Well, and he did really good for a long time though, didn't he?
He did. And
Yeah.
he did. But I mean, people weren't seeing what was going on too off camera, and
That's true.
until it got real bad.
I know. I remember seeing you tell him not right now.
Yeah.
And you're so patient with him, and that's pretty amazing.
Thanks.
I'm not sure.
Not all the time. Trust
Look,
me.
when my kids were little, I'm like, I told you to quit.
Yeah, no, I forget what Malachi did, but Theron was coming in from the outside, and he could just hear me. Like, Malachi is in between the door and me,
Right.
like right in the middle. Theron's behind the door, and I just was like, what the hell?
Full
Or
mommy on him.
something to that effect. Like, not again. Like, whatever it was one of those reactions. Like, I'm gonna pull my hair out. And Theron's like, oh, really nice. Like, he opens the door at that moment. He's like, really nice. I can hear you outside. I'm like, you better shut up too, because I'm just not. Nope. You right.
But there were times when I was raising all 7 of my kids,
I can't imagine.
I'd have like 4 teenagers in the house and 2 babies, 3 years apart, and Wesley would get home from work and I'd just hand him one of the kids and go, I'm done. I'm done.
You sometimes
Tag,
need
you're
to
it.
You're it.
Out. Mommies need time out sometimes too. Just
Yeah, I feel guilty for doing that though, because he had been at work all day working his buns off, and here I just throw him a kid and say I'm done.
raising humans is work too, and we do more than just one
That's true.
job. Like,
I mean, I wasn't just sitting around eating bonbons all day. I
No.
promise you that.
no, like
Poppy just hollered, yeah, you were.
no, they've said that, like, especially even stay-at-home moms, like all the different jobs that we do, as far even as supportive of the household and things like that, it would cost a lot of money to replace those things, like
Oh,
somebody
yeah,
doing the
yeah.
laundry, like just doing all those things. And then also childcare you
Right.
pay for. If you don't have a stay-at-home parent, you've got kids staying after school late in the
Right.
program that you're paying for usually.
Yeah, well, and not to mention all the driving.
And then all the drive.
Because, I raised, let's see,
Yeah.
My oldest daughter was probably around 15
hmm
when I stopped being able to drive.
And the tutoring too. If you've got your kids in school and they're bringing
True.
them home, there's
Yeah.
tutors. Yep.
I
Tutoring.
was very lucky. When we bought our house in Virginia, we bought a house right across from the high school.
Oh, okay.
And so they could walk. And the great thing about it was there was the high school, it was all on the same block of land, the high
Nice.
school, the middle school, and the 2 elementary schools.
Really
So
nice.
it was a whole block, and then it was maybe 2 blocks deep.
Okay.
And it was all a great big school campus. Now they were separated.
Yeah.
The high schoolers couldn't go over by the elementary school,
Yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. But that was really, really convenient for us when I got to the point where I couldn't drive anymore.
Yeah.
And they could just walk over there. And
Right.
but every time I'd hear a siren, I'd go nuts.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, where's my kids? Where's my kids? Because one of my dinglings would end up getting hurt, or
Yeah. No.
trying to go to
I'd be-
jail, or one of those things.
I'd be a case. If I had Malachi in school right now, I would be the same way. Like,
Well, does he get any services from the
well,
school
that's what
district?
I had to go and get them after he came out of foster care. We still had early childhood intervention people that were coming,
Mhm.
but then when 2020 hit, his speech therapist just completely left the area.
Oh my.
His OT had basically got the thing so she could keep working, but she was going around people's houses or going into places, and I had my mom. So it was like, I don't care if you have that or not. I don't want you bringing the stuff from other places into here.
Right,
Like, we've got to deal with my husband bringing in whatever he's bringing in. I didn't want it
right.
getting,
Other folks, yeah.
yeah, I didn't want it getting to the kids, and I didn't want it definitely getting to my mom
Sure.
because it was killing the elderly. So I was like trying to keep
Hey,
her safe.
Grumpus, if you're starting to get too tired or anything like that, you just let me know.
I'm
You're-
good.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay. Well, send me a
I'm
little
just
private
listening. I'm
message
just
or
one of the girls.
Okay, okay. Well, I don't
He's
want you
got
to
a
wear
new
yourself
heart,
out.
You know, he's got a new heart. He should be all right.
And I'm not saying you're an old dude or anything, but you've been through a lot. And,
My wife was impressed they found a heart.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't nearly as hard as she thought it was.
Oh my goodness. Wasn't nearly as hard or as small as like the Grinch when his heart suddenly.
That reminds me of what Leslie said to me the other night. It was cold in here, and I'm like, Leslie, it's freezing in here. He goes, it's just your heart, honey. So now that's his new thing. When I'm cold, it's just my heart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. What you doing, sweetheart? A cup? Well, here's the thing. Here's an excuse me just a minute.
Sure.
If you'll use that sink over there, there's some dish soap. And all you have to do is put it on a sponge and swirl it around in that bowl, and it'll be clean.
It doesn't magically happen. Like when we just put it in the sink, suddenly.
You're giving away all the magic secrets.
I know it's the big secret, isn't it?
Did you ever see that short where the woman is like breaking up with, I guess, the husband or the live-in boyfriend, and he's like, "But you don't understand.
It's magic.
I just put stuff. Yeah, it's magic. I just put I eat and I leave this stuff on this
On
table.
the and then the next morning it's gone.
My dirty clothes all over the place, and suddenly they're folded and cleaned here in a basket."
Terry said the last time he saw his sister, that's who's coming to visit him, his sister. And the last time he saw her was last year at her wedding. Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's a long time. Of course, I will say, the last time I saw my son last weekend, at his baby shower.
oh.
And I hadn't seen him in at least a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we live 2 hours from each other. There's no.
It just happened. I know. Isn't that crazy?
It is. And you know, he works 12 and 16 hours a day, and it's very difficult. I don't like to call him because I never know when he's at work or if he can talk. And so I just wait until he calls me. And sometimes he'll call me 2 times a week for a month, and then I won't hear from him for 3 months.
Because he's overwhelmed probably with work. Yeah.
And of course now he's got a lot more on his plate. So with this woman having his baby.
Oh.
Y'all live 6 hours apart. I'll be darned. See, now my brothers all live within a mile of my dad up in Georgia. Most of them. I've got one that lives in Maryland, and then 2 of them live in Georgia. And they are about 10 hours from us.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a long haul. It takes less time for us to go from here to Atlanta than it does for us to go from here to where they live in Georgia, because it's in a tiny little town, not near any interstate that we go on.
It's all back roads.
You know, it's all back roads, 40 miles an hour, you know.
Right.
But if we wanted to go to Atlanta, it would take us about 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, you can go 120 miles an hour through Atlanta. It doesn't matter. You know?
I always hated driving through Atlanta when I would go up. I always hated that. Like when I would visit a friend, she was in Brazelton, and the 2 times I went up to the area, one was to visit her. The next time was actually I was looking in the area because I liked the area she was in. Yeah. But that Atlanta, I without fail,
that Spaghetti Junction ain't no joke.
No. And I was the second time I was driving with my mom, who's nervous anyway in the car.
Lord.
And she's in the passenger seat. I'm driving and I'm looking in my mirrors, and we're about to go through that where the circle is and the trucks kind of but they're still on your butt, you know, and you've got people in front of you. Like I had a trailer.
And then people passing you on both sides like you're backing
everybody's up. We're all in like this. And I've got an 18, she hates 18-wheelers. I got an 18-wheeler like riding my butt.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm trying to just like,
everything's fine, Mom.
Good. Like I don't know if she saw my knuckles going white, but I was just trying to distract her so she wouldn't look in those side mirrors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, it was
Atlanta traffic is it's amazing and crazy all at the same time.
Yeah. My AC2 went out the first time we went through in the middle of summer, and they're always doing road work.
Always.
And diverting traffic. And all it was heat, the smell of tar, and we weren't moving. And I was like, I don't ever want to do this again.
I don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good. When will we get out of Atlanta? Yeah. No.
When we're going to Virginia to see my first grandchild, we drove through Atlanta, and it wasn't so bad.
No, it's a pretty city. It's just not great in that one area, like when you're coming up from down south. Right,
and so we get through it pretty quick. I mean, we made it from one side of Atlanta to the other in about 20 minutes, and we were all very surprised.
Very good, yeah.
And then we went off to the northeast, and on that interstate headed towards Virginia, still in Georgia, there's a big peach on a stick, like a billboard, but it's a peach instead of a billboard.
Yeah.
We're driving by there. Murphy was about, how old is he now? 15, 8. He was about 7. And he's looking out the window and he goes, "Look, Mom, it's a butt."
One side of it does look that way.
And I'm looking, I'm like, "Where?" He goes, "Look at this." I looked, I said, "Well, oh my God. Sure does look like one of them things." Now, this is the same kid that called
the butt state.
The kids were in the back. Remember the last Trump election between Trump and Hillary? And he was talking about building a wall, right?
Yeah.
Well, Finally, that stuck with my son. We're sitting in the car getting ready to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
My son's on one side, the daughter's on the other, like they always are.
Right.
So she starts putting pillows between them because she didn't want to look at him. And he said, "You're just like Trump." And I looked, I said, "What?"
What?
He said, "Well, she's building a wall."
Oh my gosh. Did you explain to him then that would make you the Mexican drug cartel son?
She's building a wall, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
I
Did you
will
see
never
what
forget
Madwood
that.
Barbecue wrote? I never want to drive through Dallas. I've seen aerial pictures of Dallas and Houston. No.
No
God
way.
bless you. Nope. Nope. Never want to do it. Even in a
Doesn't
car.
I-10 go through Houston?
Yep.
Isn't it like 112 lanes?
Mm-hmm.
They never stop working on that road.
He's crazy.
As soon as they get it done, they go back to the beginning and start
Start all
ripping it
over,
apart
right.
again.
It's like an experiment.
West side of Houston, I don't think that thing's ever been not under construction
Mm-mm.
since I've been here.
God bless the people who have to do that all the time.
Well, I have to go through there to get to Santa Fe.
Well, I think
Oh,
I think it's 6 lanes each way right now.
Oh my God.
oh my gosh.
So I guess our best deal is to just hit the middle and haul butt, right?
Yeah.
Unless,
rip.
of course, we want to take a little side road and have some lunch with Grumpus and Mrs.
Yeah.
Grumpus.
There you
Do that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And then you still got to get on the road when you leave.
Still
I
got
know,
it, yeah.
right? Like, how are we going to do this?
It's always just
Maybe-
going with the flow of traffic, and that's different in every state.
Yeah.
Our Floridians are like, oh, you get, the thing will say, you get there in about 20 minutes. And Floridians will look at that and go, I can do better.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
Oh, yeah.
Hold
Yeah.
my beer.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. And you go through the Carolinas, and it's like, hey, you going to the picnic? Yeah. What did you pack? And they're driving next to each other up 95.
Yeah.
Some of them below.
Handing babies across to each other.
Yeah, like what is going on there? Still 2 lanes. Like nobody has thought, let's add a lane. No. As a Floridian, I was like so shocked the first 2 times I went up to PA, and I was like, okay, you just got to accept it. This is just the Carolinas, and this part of 95, and they're going to picnics. That's it. This is all family. We're behind.
Yeah. Well, they're all inbred. I didn't say that.
No, she was coughing.
Yeah, I was
Back there in the woods where they all look alike.
That's right. There's a joke that I learned a long time ago, and I'm probably going to offend everybody in here, but it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this young man and this young woman who wanted to get married to each other. And hang on a minute, let me think of the joke. And hell, now I forget. I can't.
Well,
Basically, the gist of it is, if she ain't good enough for her own family, she ain't good enough for ours. That was the punchline.
oh my gosh.
And it was really, really funny. Basically, one from West Virginia, one from wherever,
Yeah. Poor
Yeah.
West Virginia always.
Not
gets
that-
that.
They always get it, don't they?
You know what? I think sometimes too that they made a lot. Not, I'm sure it happens because that happens in some of those places way up in the mountains where you don't
Sure,
get down. I'm sure, but West Virginia is beautiful.
Oh,
I
it
didn't
is.
realize how beautiful it was. I think sometimes they made up stories about their own state just so people
To
would
keep people
out.
away.
Yeah.
It's like when I lived in Amelia Island. The saying out there was, save the island, blow up the bridge.
Well, that seems to be happening in certain places.
Right.
Or running into the bridge. Like what's that?
Right. Oh gosh, that happened. Where'd that happen?
It happened
Pensacola.
in 2 places. It happened in
One of the hurricanes, the barge knocked into the bridge and destroyed it, and they had to build a new bridge.
right.
And I remember that because my poor son had to. He lived at the beach on the Gulf Breeze side,
Mhm.
but if he had to come across, he would have to go all the way down to Navarre, come back over the bridge, and then come back towards Pensacola to take care of any business or whatever he wanted to do. It's like almost 30 minutes out of his way.
Mm.
So he would stop at his dad's house,
Mhm.
have
we
lunch.
had the
You know.
recent one. We had the recent ones too, where the
Mhm.
guy like lost electricity on the ship, and it took
Oh,
out the
yes!
Up in
bridge
Baltimore?
in Baltimore, major
Yeah.
bridge.
Believe it or not, that one that happened in Baltimore, is she my niece? Yes, she's my niece. She's an adult. She's my niece. My brother married a woman who he raised this girl, but they weren't married for the longest time.
Mhm.
They didn't get married until after she was a grown up and had a couple of kids of her own.
Oh wow.
Hey, Marcel!
Hey, Marcel, how you doing?
But anyhow, she was the environmental supervisor for that bridge, that river.
Oh my god.
And she was in charge of making sure that when they rebuilt the bridge and did all the cleanup and stuff, that they didn't pollute, blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
which I
wow.
found very interesting.
Yeah, that they would have that
Uh-huh.
position.
Marcel, I'll give you a link if you want it, dear. You know, I'm just going to put it in here. And
I
if you
just
want
can't imagine being on a bridge and that's all of a sudden somebody just hits the bridge you're on. Those things scare me
Oh, that's-
anyway. Big bridges, like when you go up to Jekyll Island and the islands off of Georgia,
Yeah.
and they have those huge bridges
Yes.
going. Ooh, I hate them. I hate.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'll still do it and I'll try and enjoy it because it's like beautiful view. But all I can think of is like I might die. Somebody might hit
Right.
me and just send me off this thing. It just
Yeah.
has that feeling when you're up that high. And
Yeah.
So I can't. Mm-mm. And
Doing
there's,
great, Marcel.
hey, there's
Doing
bridges
great.
like that up there, like when in that area, like Maryland, like the
Yeah.
Delaware, like that area has some that go
A
across
lot of
water.
bridges.
Yeah. that is-
Already in bed and on my
Aw.
phone. Emery and I are having a sleepover.
Oh, sweet.
That's so nice.
Mhm.
Hi, Emery.
Yeah, I always hated being on them big bridges in a truck passage and you feel the whole
Oh,
thing bounce.
geez. Yes.
Your car vibrates.
Well, you know, there's a bridge in Jacksonville that it's called the Dames Point Bridge. Well, it's not. That's what it was going to be called originally,
Hmm.
and they named it something else. But anybody that's from Jacksonville just calls it the Dames Point Bridge
Okay.
because that's what it was supposed to be.
Right.
But it's a suspension bridge, and it's one of those ones like Grumpus is talking about when something goes by, you just feel it bouncing, and if the wind's blowing,
Yeah, you sway. I can't. Yeah, no.
and when I'm on that bridge, I've only been on it 3 times in my life.
I don't like Jackson.
But-
yeah.
Something about the suspension wires going by
Hmm.
makes me so sick.
Yeah, visually.
I get,
Yep.
I guess, motion sickness. on
Right.
it.
Right.
So when I go across that bridge, I have to close my eyes.
Well, you get migraines too, right? Like I do. You get
I
migraines.
used to. I don't anymore.
The light, just even doing that,
Right.
It can aggravate people who have migraines.
See, I'm back
She's on her
in
tablet.
Indianapolis.
I thought she would hear me.
Back in Indianapolis, they had a bridge over White River they called it the Singing Bridge.
Oh.
And it didn't have any asphalt on it. It was just a grid.
Oh,
So when you look out your window, you look straight down into the water.
Oh my goodness!
Hell
it-
no.
You know, and when you're at speed, you can't
You don't
see
see
any
the grade
any
at
bridge at
all.
all. But it'd make your tires just sing.
Mine would sing real loud because I'd go over that as fast as I could. I'd be like,
I would
Oh.
too.
no.
I'm feeling
way.
pretty good, Marcel. All the doctors said I'm doing remarkably well.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's been up here with us now for 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Right.
Remarkable.
Yep. I'll probably go
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might be throwing the towel in here for too long.
Yeah, I
It's
think I
okay.
need to.
You
It's
do
2
what you got to
a.m. here.
do. I'm just going to hang out till everybody decides to leave me. Because I don't have nothing else to do.
I needed to sleep. I stayed up late last night, and then when I got off, I couldn't get to bed until like 5 a.m.
Right.
And then I woke up with one of those like sinus headaches.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, my day was like, all I got done was, I was still proud of myself. I got some weeding done, and I was saying like how my back hurts when I weed, and they're like, oh, use a hoe. I'm like, no, I couldn't in this area because I don't. When I first gave up on gardening the first time, I filled it all in with stone, like these big stones,
Right.
and so I had to clear them out when I decided I was going to garden again. I had a pile over in a corner, and it was just all weeds, like weeds in between these big pebbles, or they're not pebbles, those kind of rocks. So that's what I was doing. I was cleaning them out, and I still got to straighten it up more.
Oh,
and
that's
just
so
edging
pretty,
out.
though.
Thank you. But
It's nice.
I was shaking by the time I came in from doing that. I'm like, girl, you are so out of shape. You gotta
look at there, Grumpus. She said, I drove through spring last week on my way to Tomball.
Oh man,
what's a Tomball?
That's another
Is that
town.
a place?
Another town west of me.
Okay.
Sounds like you would order that to drink it.
Should have given me a call. We'd figure out something.
Oh, it is great news, right? He looks great too, doesn't he? Radio.
Yep.
His coloring and stuff looks really good. Well, anyway, on that note, yes, I was shaking today, and I need to pack it in and go to bed. But thank you for letting me come up with you, because it is much easier to talk than to type.
You're so welcome. Yeah, please come again.
I really appreciate it.
Because I know you have your live streams on the weekends too, though.
Yeah. But if you guys are live and I'm not, committed somewhere else, I always want to come hang out with you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. We like having you.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks.
Enjoy yourself. Good night.
Much love.
Sleep well.
All right. Bye, Carol.
Well, I guess maybe I'll close up shop since you're.
Been a little over 3 hours. I can't believe I hung in there that long.
I can't believe it either. I'm really proud of you. Now, I hope you haven't done too much.
I was sitting in a chair. I can sit here or sit in the living room.
Well, that's true too, but
either place I'm sitting.
Right. How do you like that chair you got there?
You know what? I'm looking for another chair. This thing, I don't know if you can tell it or not, but
it kind of curves around, doesn't it?
It's starting to come apart.
I can't tell that.
It's that fake leather.
Okay.
And it's starting to peel.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's a comfortable chair.
Okay.
I've had this quite a few years.
Well, it's probably done its job.
Well, it's made like a bucket seat for a race car.
Okay.
So it wraps around on your shoulders, and it's got a good lumbar support.
Got good support, yeah.
But I've about wore it out.
Yeah. For some weird second wind at 10. Oh, you've been cleaning. Okay. And now you got a second wind? Or you got a second wind at 10:30. Okay. Hey, that happens to me all the time. Actually, when I'm finished with this live stream, I'm probably going to go over there and do those dishes that I was instructing my son on how to wash a few minutes ago. I cooked dinner and just left it. Now, mind you, everybody put food away and stuff, but
yeah,
it's all over my kitchen. I mean, there's dishes everywhere, and I can't go to bed like that. So I'll be doing that. But anyhow, thank you, everybody who's still here. We got 10 people. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget to go to Grumpus's channel, take a look at his videos. I know you've probably seen them 1,000 times, but go look at them again.
Yeah, look at them again. It's all watch time.
It's and you might learn something. Hey, and if you haven't seen the one with mango relish, which one was that?
That was the
pork butt.
Yeah, that was the oh geez, the Jamaican style on the rotisserie.
That's right. Jamaican
not-
style
not been-
pork butt on the rotisserie.
Yeah, it's you only have to go back maybe 2 or 3 videos.
Yeah, and the mango salsa is to die for. I did it myself, and I'm here to tell you it's worth watching twice, maybe 3 times. Thank you, Grumpus, for coming up and hanging out with us. Thank
It's
you,
a
Terry.
pleasure
Thank
as
you,
always.
Marcel. Do what?
It's a pleasure as always.
As always, you guys have a great evening. Jane Doe, if you're here, you're spot on. You're amazing. Thank you. Take care,
Terry,
everybody.
we'll see you. Marcel, we'll see you. How many of you showing left?
9.
All right. I don't see anybody else on there.
No. Good night, y'all. Take care.
We'll see you. See you next week.